Hello, hello, and yeah. Now that you pointed that out, Mel, yeah, like, God, like I'm so dumb when it comes to like taking into consideration like certain wording or phrasing. But yeah. So this whole time I was stuck with jury duty. Unfortunately, at the very tail end of jury selection, I got selected, and I'm just like, fuck, because selection took 4 fucking days. And I'm just like, you fucking what? It's like, bro, this shit nonsensical. Like, oh my god. So that took a long time. Then the trial happened. And then deliberations took 3 days. I'm just like, oh my god. Like it ended today and everything. I'm so glad it's over. I mean, it was an interesting experience to see the legal process and everything, but oh my god, they could fix up and streamline so many things so that it can at least try to be a bit faster, productive, to respect people's time and get their lives back on track. Because, well, keeping it as relatively vague as possible, there was one person who had a very important position for his work, and like he was losing thousands upon thousands of dollars for him and his business per day that he's stuck in like jury duty. Which, yeah, I kind of feel for him. Like, that sucks because, like, you know, like, you're stuck here with 11 other people who need to all come to a collective agreement, and then the dude is just like, I'm sure he wasn't exactly, I'm sure he wasn't trying to show it, but like, I'm sure he must be stressed out of his fucking mind because the longer he's not there, like, he's gotta, like, his business or whatever he's managing or whatever is just gonna fucking, like, go to shit, like, if he's not there any longer. I'm like, damn, I feel for him, because that's a very, very bad situation to be put in, because, like, I can't imagine having to manage something, like, some form of business or some important position that every day you're not there, it's like actual thousands of dollars per day that is disappearing because the local government said, hey, you gotta come in for jury duty. We'll pay you like $15 a day that like you're here. It's like $15 USD that you're forcing us to show up for every day as compensation. When, depending on your life situation, circumstances, job position, or other like responsibilities or connections or dependencies or whatever, people are losing hundreds, if not thousands, if not tens of thousands because they're forced to be here to do their civic duty. And I'm just like, damn, that really sucks. So, as far as I know, with like what the judge told me and the jurors, like, obviously I won't go into any like specifics because that'd be like, you know, that's pretty stupid. But we can like talk about certain things now that it's all over. I'm just like, I mean, like, I would like to say some things, but man, like, obviously, you know, keeping every personal description, every other major personal description vague and all that other stuff, it's just like, man, this is a pretty, like, it was very mentally taxing, like, having to pay attention to everything presented and then having to talk it over with 11 other people you don't know shit about. And it was like a good social experience, I will say that, because, you know, like, you're talking to 11 people who you probably wouldn't have encountered otherwise, so in a way, it was a nice way to meet like 11 other people. But, oh boy. It was, like, we all kind of like got that perspective of like, man, like, if we were in the defendant's shoes and we had to think about 12 other Joe Schmoes trying to decide your fate, and that's basically the role that was like placed onto us, onto our shoulders, and we're going like, oh, yeah, no, this shit sucks and weighs on your mind. Yeah. So yeah, that's what we were caught up in. That's what I was caught up in doing for a whole fucking week. Oh my god. Like, obviously, like, a lot of the time for me, you know, like, it's just me streaming and doing random shit. But just having, like, personal schedule thrown off, oh my god, dude, I feel so tired from having to get up at ass o'clock in the morning to haul ass to the courthouse every single day for the duration of jury duty. Oh my god. Like, so I can certainly say like the basic premise of like what the trial is about. Obviously, you're not saying any personal things, but like it's basically a case of like having to deal with and sort out issues concerning like a restraining order. And oh boy, the family court system is fucked. Like that's my takeaway and the all the other jurors takeaway from this. Like it's a horrible situation whether or not you will place any like innocence or guilt on either parties involved. And I'm just like, yeah, no, like this is like the biggest fucking gray area that like yeah, no, like now that I've like had to deliberate with like 11 other people, yeah, no, like this shit, like it's not easy. Like it is annoying as shit, and we're 12 people having to like gloss over all of these documents and everything. And then imagine you have a restraining order placed on you, like, and you miss out on something, or if you have a misunderstanding, like holy crap, that can set you up to suffer in like legal hell. It's like damn, it is not easy. So there's a lot of complicated aspects, but like honestly, the one very amusing thing about all this, and you know, again, as far as the judges told us and as far as like the documents we read, we can talk about like what the trial was about, the deliberations, and the verdict that I reached, I think, or something to that extent. Obviously, you know, like keeping exact specifics like out, but like, man, this whole thing that I was involved with, deliberating on, like if there wasn't one specific line, one specific clause in that restraining order, it would have just been open and shut. But because there was that one little line of fine print, we were suffering in deliberation for 3 days. Because of that one line calling into question practically everything and anything we can wonder about. Like, oh my god, it was annoying as shit. And because, like, of the nature of that piece of fine print, like, there was no actual evidence to go either way. And we were literally told, like, when we were asking for clarification, it's like, oh, this part, it is subject to interpretation from the jurors, so we're not gonna get any like guidance on like how we should think we should proceed. No, it's just you just gotta like evaluate it, and that's it. Like there's no other thing. And I'm just like, oh my god. So that's why, like, if that one piece of fine print on that goddamn piece of paper wasn't there, me and the other 11 jurors would have been in there. 30 minutes later, back out, we're done. But no, what could have been 30 minutes extended the whole process to 3 days. And I'm just like, oh, I never want to suffer with jury duty ever fucking again. It is miserable, especially when people are so disorganized, because basically, like, you know, like maybe like if you want to like think about it yourself on like how you're gonna approach like reaching verdicts on whatever charges for whatever trial you have to do as a juror, you would have to like establish a procedure. Otherwise it's just gonna be endless back and forth, everyone's on different pages. Because the issue is that like everyone was on, most people were on basically different wavelengths, so we couldn't come to fundamental agreements, or come to any agreement, because there was a fundamental misunderstanding of like the angles of logic that we have to go with. Because, you know, like, as jurors, fair, impartial, you have to look at it objectively as a juror, not subjectively through your lens. But then it's like, only the facts on this table and all the evidence that you currently have in your hands to look through. No ifs, ands, or buts. So then people, partially myself included here and there, like, we're getting all these, like, we're having all these difficulties trying to, like, separate either what's subjective or what we think is objective, but we're subconsciously masquerading it as objective and getting hung up on shit. It, like, deliberating is not easy, especially when you have 11 other people that have varying definitions of what they view as, like, objective, subjective, common sense, or whatever the fuck. It's like, oh my goodness. Like, I will talk about one charge. It's like... Actually, which one was it? Actually, nah, I don't think I'll talk about that one. But it was so annoying because, like, after we get through so many details and hash things out, like, there was like that one final thing that we had to decide on, but we're all getting hung up on it. And then after reevaluating my like logistical, or not logistical, my logical approach, I was like, wait, what if I think about it this way? And then that kind of like swayed my way of thinking. I'm like, wait, so like what was like getting all of us mixed up, there was like one charge that came before the other charge that everyone got hung up on, including myself. And I'm like, wait, like, thinking about it, we need to view this particular one that we're hung up on in isolation. We can't, like, we have to remove like every piece of like evidence that wasn't pertaining to that part that we're hung up on. So then I'm like, oh, then like, okay, wait, then in that case, then we would have to say, you know, like, we would have to all agree on this thing, because if you have to view it in isolation as it is, because the other evidence has no bearing on the charge we're hung up on, it's like, wait, oh. But then the other guy that ended up like being the one holdout, he was like, no, it's like I think this because of the previous charge. But then we had to keep hammering into the guy. It's like, no, we just like decoupled the link between the previous charge. So because like we already gave our judgment on one part, and that it has no bearing on what came after. So then, but then the guy kept getting all emotional about it, and we keep trying to tell this one guy, it's like, you need to separate the emotional thing, because like the guy is biased because like he's a father, he's a parent, and he's letting that cloud his judgment on like what should be viewed in isolation. So then I'm just like, oh my god. Because like I was kind of thinking in that guy's shoes for a bit. I was like, yeah, that makes sense, right? But then I was like, wait, no, they're not supposed to be connected, because like each of like the way that the charges were laid out, you can kind of categorize them if you want to like kind of in a higher level like isolate everything in their own like relative boxes. And then I was like, wait, okay, now everything makes sense. But then that one guy just kept like getting his emotions and personal attachments like get in the way of like more objective thinking. And I'm just like, oh my god, like that guy was this close to bringing it to extending this another day just because he was so stubborn about it. But then I don't remember what exactly changed, but I think we finally like managed to convince him that like, it's like, wait, we're not supposed to be thinking of these in connection with each other, but in isolation. Then once you kind of have that perspective, it's just like, oh, you know, like the logic finally clicks there. Like, oh my god, dude. Like, I know I've been on this for a while now, and I know like the whole topic of jury duty and whatever might happen in a trial is like a heavy thing to think about. And I'm not sure how everyone else feels about it, hearing me just blab on about this kind of a topic. But oh my god, it's not easy. It's really rough when you have 12 people with differing viewpoints just kind of like butting heads on like trying to like find common ground to basically decide the fate of the defendant, essentially. It's just like, when you kind of put all that in perspective, it's just like, oh my god, like we actually worked through all that and like finally came to a decision that will lead to some form of change in the respective parties' lives. And I'm just like, oh. Life story always be interesting. Yeah, it's just like at the very least, like I'm like, even though I really hated the fact that I was dragged into jury duty, at the very least I got like a better understanding of like the process. So yeah, because like like one thing that me and the other jurors like kind of like took away from this too is like, in a common sense world, like putting aside what we like putting aside the juror lens and perspective, right? And you're trying to take the perspective of like the common man, or you're trying to just like, let's say you glance on the news, like, oh, this person's charged with this, this, and this, and this, and the news says that like, oh, here's like the evidence, or here's like this footage, or like whatever account. It's like, when you're just kind of like seeing something at a glance, you go, yeah, that person's guilty as fuck, what? But then, as the juror, with all the evidence and the perspectives and the proper weighting on whose credibility you should give more credence to, it's just like, oh, like, in a common sense lens, like, all of us basically said we would give this guy, like, guilty in a heartbeat, but legally, through all the wordings and everything, it's like, wait, oh shit. So then, like, a lot of things kind of got, like, mixed around, and we're all like, wait, we didn't give the verdicts that we initially thought we were gonna give, now that we kind of, like, hashed things out and, like, went over the terms and conditions with a fine-tooth comb. And I'm like, oh. And then we all came to the conclusion that the family court system sucks. Like, what the fuck? Like, because of how loosey-goosey shit is, like, I feel like restraining orders don't do shit for anyone. And that's why there's all this personal trouble, like, coming in for people that have to deal with, like, strained, like, family issues and restraining orders and the legal processes and everything. And I'm like, oh. Because, yeah. Because, like, if you could basically, like, mask a lot of things under the pretext of whatever aspects of the fine print, even though there's like the restraining order say to keep away, but then you can use like a certain condition as like nah, but then who's to say what the intent is or whatever? There's no definitive proof, and you know, as jurors you have to go in with like the presumption of innocence. So then, because you know, innocent before guilty, that's the thing that we've been told, and that's how the justice system works. And you have to, because of this is like a criminal case, it's like you have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. So you have to find direct or actually, okay, I know like I've been on the screen for a while, but like one thing that surprised me, you know what, like we were pretty much what we were thought to believe in terms of evidence presented to prove a point. It's like, oh, you have to have like direct evidence, like, you know, like something that we can tangibly see or know for sure that cannot be refuted. No. Circumstantial evidence has the exact same weight as direct evidence. So, for example, like whether or not there's evidence of rain happening outside, like, let's say you look out your window, you see dark clouds covering all the skies, water visibly coming down, hitting the streets below, darkening the streets from getting wet. That is direct evidence of rain happening. Circumstantially, your brother could come home drenched in what looks to be drops of water on his raincoat and putting away his umbrella soaked with water in the corner, and without looking outside, circumstantially, you could probably say that it was probably raining. He had a raincoat, a wet umbrella, wet raincoat, dripping with water. Yeah, that most likely could be rain, and that is as significant as just seeing the rain drop with your own very eyes. But like, there is a possible doubt in your mind where it's like, well, what if someone just like sprayed a garden hose on him and then he was just drenched in sweat, but he was for some reason just walking out with a raincoat and an umbrella? But maybe someone could just threw a bucket of water or sprayed like a garden, like had a garden hose and just sprayed the person. We don't know. But circumstantially, we can probably assume that it was just raining. He was just drenched in water. Who's to say otherwise? And that has the same amount of weight as just viewing the dark clouds with water falling from the sky. And I'm just like, what? Like whenever I see anything pertaining to legal matters, or take it for what you will, like from the shit I read in like the Ace Attorney games or something, it's like, oh no, like that's circumstantial evidence. That's like, how is that solid proof? No. In the legal system, now that I went through as a juror for jury duty, no, circumstantial evidence is exactly the same as direct evidence. I'm like, no way. But that's how it is. I'm just like, so then having to like having that revelation, I'm just like, wait, so how exactly like are we supposed to view things as we're deliberating now? Because like all my life, as far as I've seen in like either stories or from hearsay on news without actually knowing the actual legal know-how, it's like I've always assumed that circumstantial evidence has like the weakest weighting. Because like you can line up all these coincidences, these circumstances, and it's like, yeah, like that sounds very likely, but are you really sure? Like, is there anything that really solidifies the existence of that the glue that holds all these circumstances together? If not, then it's just random shit strung together. But no, all that random shit strung together is as significant as like seeing like actual video footage or with your own eyes that like rain has happened or something. That's crazy. Like, bro, that shit is crazy. So it really was eye-opening and I learned a lot from this, but man, I really wish I had my week of time back from wasting on jury duty. Holy shit. Anyways, okay, I think I should really continue with Ordeal Call. Look over like what's been going on my account and everything, because I have been farming like off stream. I was just too tired to actually stream because of aforementioned jury duty. Oh my god, dude, it's an eye-opening experience, and again, apologies again if the whole talk about like jury stuff or restraining orders and all the possible related elements might bring to people's minds if like it possibly affects you in any way. I do apologize if that kind of brought up anything unpleasant, but yeah, it was an experience of all time. So anyways, okay, so this past week with farming on FGO, like I did the Ilya Fest like off stream, did all my farming and everything. I got about 166.5 boxes, so a hefty amount of like materials and all that. Wait, where's the other materials there? Oh, was it just the chains and stuff? Wait, I thought they were oh no, it was right here, yeah. There's a lot of good evil bones and dragon fangs that I scooped up in the process, thankfully. I don't remember how much I have exactly. Does it say here? No, I would have to go into the my room thing. But yeah, I got a hefty amount of evil bones from it, thankfully. I probably still have several hundred more to farm out. But oh my god, I really wish I can kind of finish up with the Eva Bone grind some of these days. But yeah, I cleaned out my present box and everything. One thing I didn't realize was that, yeah, like once you get beyond certain boxes, I thought there was gonna be 5-star EXP things. No, it's just 3-star, 4-star. So I'm like, oh, that's like the easiest mana prisms in the world. But yeah, so I farmed all that. Come on. Like, we now have all of the... We have all of the Ordeal Call missions that came up, and I kind of received the warning to, not claim all, lest my game lag like shit, because you're claiming hundreds of missions all at once. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll hold off on it just a little bit, because I'm assuming that's a lot of QP. There's a lot of extra foes that I'm gonna have to claim eventually and use. And I'm like, oh. I mean, the mana prisms I could probably just claim just like that, but these are hundreds of stuff to claim. Look at all this. I mean, like, I just have to be careful with stuff like XP and foes and stuff. But if it's stuff like the rare prisms, you know, I should probably just claim that. But I'm not gonna go through 538 stuff one by one. Like, it'd be nice if you can if you can set up a condition for the receive all mana prism rewards, receive all like foe rewards, receive like QP rewards. That'd be nice, but sadly that's not the case. And yeah, now we got the Ordeal Call 0, or basically the prologue missions here. Quite a lot of time to do it. I know, like, you get 3 daily currencies up to 9 max to basically, I think it was like farm out whatever missions in the Ordeal Call challenge quests. I think it was kind of reminiscent of Arc tickets in Grand Blue Fantasy. You get like a ticket every day to do a node in the Arc mode. So here we get like 3 storm pods or whatever they're called to do those like specific quests or whatever. So yeah, again, I know nothing, just to preface this before going into the story, I know nothing about the Ordeal Call story at all. I don't necessarily keep up with FGOJP aside from like random fan art that might come my way because of like the thing that like of updates that come out, because I know right now it's Ordeal Call 4 in Japan, and there are people posting fan art of Lilith or whatever her name is. I don't know any other details, I just know the name Lilith exists. But beyond that, I do my best to keep away from any actual story details, so let's go. Yeah, I knew it was gonna launch into a direct cutscene. And Stuffle, thank you for incinerating 10,000 points. But yeah, also, like, I know I didn't say hi earlier to anyone else, but like, yeah, like, for anyone that came in for my big jury duty ramble, yeah, welcome. I normally don't talk about like heavy elements like that, like heavy topics like that, like too often or much at all, honestly. It's just that it's been a long week that I had to just do this, and I was the one of the last few unlucky schmucks that got picked last second. So it's like the jurors are being selected, and the attorneys basically, like, you know what's funny? For anyone that's had like experience playing like MOBAs or any other competitive game, jury selection, I'm like, wait, this shit like draft mode. They're drafting jurors and having like, they actually have like picks and bans and shit, or they can like basically excuse certain jurors, or you know, you can view that as like a ban in like a draft mode, or the other lawyer can just go overturn it, and it's like, no, not that one. And I'm like, bro, this like in my mind I'm like, oh shit, that's pretty funny. Unfortunately, I was in that bunch. I'm like, fuck. The Singularity BGM. But yeah, like, Also, one thing that I didn't know about was the existence of alternate jurors. Cause like, you have your 12 jurors, but should something happen to one or two people, you have up to 2 substitutes. In case something goes wrong or one of the jurors can't make it for like work reasons or they get like really sick or something. But yeah. Unfortunately, as they picked their 12, I was like, okay. I got selected as an alternate. And I'm just like, bro, it was at the very end. I'm like, bro, I was this close to just booking it. But I got like second to last pick. It's like getting the second to last pick in a group you don't want to go into or get into during like a PE class or something like that. It's like, there are all these different groups and it's like, okay, don't pick me, don't pick me, don't pick me. It's like, and you're like, one of the last few that like haven't gotten picked and everyone else who don't get picked can go on like off on their own devices or whatever. It's like, okay. And then it's like, as fate would have it, one of the very last few people went to me. And I'm just like, ugh, I'm locked into this. Fuck. Okay. Sorry, I just need to turn on the lights in my room. It's getting dark right now. Okay, let's get to reading. Sorry about the long tangent. Just, I'm probably just gonna end up like ranting about this shit randomly, like every couple of minutes. It's just, it's been bearing on my mind this whole week. I was actually wondering whether or not I should even just stream tonight or just go binge rewatch the rest of season 2 for Apothecary Diaries. By the way, watch Apothecary Diaries. It's really damn good. I'm rewatching it so I can figure out like, wait, there are things going on that they're obvious that there are hints for that I never picked up on. I'm like trying to like rewatch and see what the hints are, because I'm like, I have my suspicions about stuff, but I need to rewatch like the rest of the season to figure out like what's going on right now. It's pretty neat that Apothecary Diaries has a really solid like rewatch value, because like you have like, you know, your first watch and then the second watch is like, oh, now you're picking up on shit. You know, I thought that was always pretty cool. Anyways, okay, good, you're all here. Thanks for coming on such short notice. I'd like to start by quoting what I said before. We'll have to deal with the imbalances we've racked up over the course of our battles to date, and we'll have to face the scrutiny of our mistakes from humanity itself. Once we overcome these new trials, that's when we'll reach our final destination. Nice speech, right? The only problem is, our operations team hasn't been able to come up with an actual plan of action. But no more! That embarrassment ends today. That's right. I've called you here because we finally determined what to do to prove our innocence in order to enter the Antarctic. Allow me to show you the method we're going to use to correct these so-called imbalances we racked up. We'll also cover where we're going to start. Gotcha. Oh, this is wonderful news! Just when I was beginning to resign myself to being cursed to blindly wander the bleached earth forever, forever too. So where do we begin? If this is a matter of imbalances, we must surely have a singularity to contend with. Of course, we dealt with all 7 lost belts, a singularity shouldn't be any trouble for us. So let's quickly patch it up and be on our way to Antarctica, right Kirby? But, sir, the paper moon isn't showing any abnormalities. Exactly. So far as we can tell, there are no singularities for us to address. According to that guy who looked like Romani Archimon, this is a problem for us to solve, except we're not seeing anything out of place anywhere on Earth right now. Obviously, we can't do much about a problem when we don't know what it is. Correct. With no enemy, we have no target for our torpedoes. I feel like an orca who's just had a whale disappear on it. We spent the past few weeks searching for singularities. As you're all well aware, we haven't found any. With matters being what they are, we have neither a chart nor a compass to help us navigate the seas. It almost makes me wish we saw the Lost Belts, At the very least with those, we knew where we needed to go. I suppose you're right. It hasn't been smooth sailing so much as a lack of wind altogether. No wonder I've been gaining weight lately. Go right off! Alright, what do we do then? If there are no abnormalities at surface level, does that mean we need to start searching the stratosphere? Only as a last resort, the Stormboarder isn't a spaceship, so I'd rather not push it quite so hard. No, my big takeaway is that we're barking up the wrong tree. We shouldn't have been searching for problems to solve in the first place. We need to make our problems, and then fix it. Burn all the extra classes we met since the Lost Belts? No. You'll have to take Passion Lip away from me over my cold, dead body. We're not dealing with an enemy from outside this time. No, this time, it's us. We're the problem. If the preservation of humanity itself is keeping us from the Antarctic, the first thing we should do is... raise some hell? Kirby, what do you think? Comply with its dress code? Exactly. And to do that, we first need to know what kind of state we're in right now. She was pre-Lost Belts. And she's still, you know, alter ego? Or actually, like, what's the, like, isn't the criteria, like, you know, isn't, like, alter ego in the extra class? Or, wait, did I, like, temporarily forget, like, Passion Lip's class real quick? Hold on. Yeah, no, alter ego. Like, isn't just alter egos in general? Or it doesn't matter about, like, pre or post Lost Belt? Or do I have a misunderstanding of that? Oh, no, sorry, you know, for all the shit that I said about jury duty, man, I suck at, like, reading, like, the line that's just above. Yeah, you literally said, like, start of the Lost Belt. I'm so fucking stupid. I spent this whole week in jury duty, and yet I can't read one goddamn line in Twitch chat right now. Oh my god. My reading capability is... I mean, they've always been shot. Now it's even more so. So wait, Roman said ever since the start of the Lost Belts? Oh, I guess I don't remember, I didn't remember that part since we ended, the Lost Belts. Oh. So, on that note... hey there. Feels like I've been waiting for my turn for ages now, so let's get to it. First, take a look at this. This is a new device Cyan and I made together at Da Vinci's request. It's called the FOH board, short for Foundation of Humanity. Oh, I see. The FOH board, eh? So, what does it do? Exactly what its name suggests. We're trying to make things as easy to understand as possible. Unlike the kinds of measurements we've been taking up till now, the FOH board doesn't look at the Foundation of Humanity value for all of humankind. Instead, it only looks at the value for the Stormboarder itself. Would you tell them more, Cyan? It's simple. Think of it like taking your baggage through customs to enter a foreign country. The value the FOH board displays indicates Chaldea's current imbalance. That is, the shared imbalance of all here. Our current rank is E, which is as low as you can get. But according to Trismegistus 2, once we restore our rank to A, we'll be able to pass through the wall of humanity surrounding the Antarctic. So we're the lowest rank possible right now. Really? Yes, it really is quite something that we've made it this far without realizing it. What do you think, Fo? Yeah, thank you, Fo. Okay, so how exactly do we go about restoring our Foundation of Humanity value? There are no singularities out there, right? So, Do we just have to wait for it to grow up on its own? Well, essentially, yes. For the time being, there's nothing we can do. This is the best approach we have. Da Vinci and I have discussed this as well, and we think it is significant that Romani Archimen used the word call. Perhaps it does not mean something is calling us, but that we should be calling something ourselves. Once we considered matters from this perspective, our next course of action became clear. Call me, oh my god, dude, I feel old. How old is that song? The FOH board is not only meant for measuring our foundation, it also reveals it. We made it to warn us of anything which violates the rules, whether those things are outside or among us, and to act as a signal to call in foundation repair trials like those we've undertaken many times before. Nothing is silver, nothing. Call in trials? Well, I don't. After Path of Exile 2, I want to hear no more shit about no trials. And after jury duty. Now that you mention it, that makes a lot of sense. Of course you need to fix the imbalances in your own body yourself. The world isn't where the abnormality lies, it's us. Now I see. So then, Among Us 3D just released. Good timing. Oh my god. Yeah, that was. I did see a headline for that. I mean, like, technically we also have, like, Among Us in VR chat, which you can probably kind of sort of use as 3D Among Us already. So I kind of wonder, like, how things would be with, like, you know, an official 3D Among Us. Yep, we've sounded the ordeal call and finally stand at the precipice of our trial. You rather support Innersloth? I mean, yeah, fair. It's just like, I mean, I never played like Among Us or any other like social deduction game, so I don't know. It's kind of like, I mean, I guess, you know, you just have like that new slate and perspective of like 3D and everything compared to just the original. I mean, I don't know. I mean, either way, yeah, I've never been interested in Among Us. I mean, it's cool seeing the streams or hearing like friends or other people talk about it, but one thing that I've learned from personal experience and everything, social deduction games are really not my thing. It is really not my thing. What is the scrutiny of humanity? What is it we need to do? Trismegistus 2 answer those questions like this. Scrutiny is the absence of recognition. Do not be careless in your approach. Understand the meaning behind all things. Wait. Scrutiny is the absence of recognition? Huh. Disclosure, supplementation, parting, trust, vows. Every time you find answers to these questions, an imbalance will be corrected. Of course, we have no idea what any of this means right now. Understand the meaning behind all things. It's okay, Kirby. Don't worry about it for now. Remember, we don't have to look for these trials. They're going to come to us. All we can do now is prepare for them. Then, when they show up, we give them everything we've got. Alright, here's our mission. The Storm Border will continue investigating the bleached Earth as we bolster our forces in preparation for the coming showdown. On which note, we can now enhance servant classes directly. Wait, new functionality? Correct. We've been thinking about this for a while now, in fact.
Our personal foundation of humanity might be tanked right now. But with the 7 lost belts gone, the overall foundation of human history has improved by leaps and bounds. This means we can now use human history itself as a source of information, giving us an even more solid foundation with which to summon heroic spirits. Da Vinci and Scion call this the class score. An enhanced class score doesn't just strengthen a single heroic spirit, but every spirit belonging to that class. Trismegistus 2 predicts that enhancing class scores will help with the battles that lie ahead, and give us an ace up our sleeve in our ultimate confrontation against the foreign god. Professor can fill you in on the details. Don't worry, it's nothing complicated.
Sounds like he wants me to farm more.
Yeah, we have like 3 daily currencies we gotta farm out every day. Or we gotta spend to farm every day. Otherwise, we cap out. We don't get excess. We don't overstock. It's just like, use it or lose it. Farm now. That's how they keep their player numbers up, baby. Alright, that's all for the ship. Everyone, stay sharp and keep working hard. I know you'll all come through.
Lost belts end this year in Japan. We're probably gonna be free. Oh. 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 Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. Class score is now available from the enhancement menu. Unlocking signs. By unlocking signs within class score, you can grant an entire class of servants various bonus effects. Class score. Okay. Oh my god. Spherical. First order of business, enhance the classes that made Chaldea reject us. It's like, alright, all the foreigners, alright, you're getting all the juice. Expend storm pods to collect sand of starlight. Special free quests which require you to expend storm pods are available on the Bleached Earth. You can collect sands of starlight, an item necessary to unlock class score signs, by clearing these free quests. Once you clear Ordeal Call 0, you can claim 3 the first time you log in each day. You can collect storm pods instead of expending them, but there's a limit to how much you can hold at a time, up to 9. Once you reach this limit, you will lose excess. So basically, you know, use it or lose it. We are telling you guys to play at least every 3 days, or you lose shit. Oh. Oh dear God. Get me out. Get me out of these notifications. Oh boy. Oh, and Ordeal Call is in around the Egyptian area? We don't know any of the other ones, obviously, right? Yeah. They're the challenge quests, and then here's the... Okay, I mean, at the very least, we gotta get the first clears for every area. So, times like these, gotta break out the wiki. We gotta go, alright, what's in these free quests? Alright, so let me see real quick here. So, Bleached Earth, requests, should be Russia.
Oh wait, this other one is Scandinavian. Okay. So in the Russian area, we're gonna have... Wait, what is this one? Nightmare Pumpkin. Oh. It's a 1.1 million HP cast Elizabeth. Holy shit. You know what? Sure, fuck it. You only lose AP if you withdraw, but... Okay, so you don't lose a Storm Pod, but... Stupidly enough, FGO still steals your stamina for quitting. Alright. So, bond point increase. And yeah, that is a lot of bond points. 2.6... 2.6... what was it? 2,600? Baseline? That's a lot. Elizabeth time. Alright, let's see here. Actually, wait, let me double check something. What element? Earth attribute? Oh yeah, okay, so the differences is man, earth. Oh man, Liz is, well, obviously man element, but Earth is heroes who originate from fantastical, unrealistic myths and legend. Oh yeah, that's how they defined it. So, like, basically, who do I want to raise bond with while maintaining advantage? I mean, alternatively... I mean, I think that's reason enough. Alright. And then... oh, right, I need to take off the filter. Where are you? There you are. And then we gotta take... good old Oberon. Where are you? There he is. Alright, and who else do I want to, like, keep raising bond with? So, Tamamo. I just got her to 120 and everything. I gotta finish what I started. We gotta eventually get her to bond 15. Gotta do it. So, we're gonna keep her here for bond XP. And... one thing that always annoys me is just the team cost, because like it is so hard to try to find a farming comp that allows you to bring in all 3 Tamamos for bond farming. I really gotta catch Tamalancer, or get Tamalancer up to speed with bond levels, so let's go bring her along. And we're trying to squeeze out as much bond points as possible. So... the flat amount, the percentages, and how much do we get in terms of QP? Nothing? No, there's a little bit, but you would probably just get more from QP farming, so you get a decent amount of Master XP though. So now that they raised the XP cap, or the master level cap, how about... wait, where is it? wait, did I never buy it? Oh. Oh, I don't think I ever got it from the Mana Prism shop. I think I was out of Mana Prisms when that came out originally. Well, through natural farming, like, I don't think. But it's like, oh wait, no, is that XP for Mystic Code? Or is Mystic Code XP the same as Master Level? So then that's Mystic Code, right? Not, because I need to also max out the. Oh no, wait. Oh wait, oh, if I fucking put that, I won't have enough room for it. I won't have enough room for the Black Grail. And even if I take out the thing here, I'd be too over because of the fucking. Ugh. Man, shit sucks. Alright, so we'll just probably do it like that. Actually, how much more XP do I need for that? Oh my god, it's still level 8. You're telling me with 166 boxes I only got up to this far? Holy shit. Like, I'm not. Oh, fuck me, right. This hacking thing is still level 6. Oh my god. Oh yeah, I still need to max out Draco's skills. Now that I finally have QP again, I can actually go finish that.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. The enhance main menu music is different. Oh. Cool. Oh, I guess because it shares the same music as the. Well, actually, no, it doesn't exactly. Anyways. Where is it? Draco. So it was this gauge, crit strength, damage cut. And yeah, let's just use up those lures. What did this skill do again? Skill seal burn, increase charge, attack, Holy Grail possession. So wait, what's this again? When in Holy Grail possession state, apply special attack dragon. Oh. Dude, let me double check something real quick. Okay, yeah, so just double check with Elizabeth, like, character traits right now. Yeah, so we have the dragon thing, and what was it? And also the special attack from the NP for all these 7 class servants. Oh, wait, right. Aren't there teapots I need to claim?
日本には端午の節句というものがあるそうですね。竹のようにまっすぐにすくすくと育ってほしい。
Oh, complete one free quest on the bleached earth to then get the teapots. I had to do it after spending the thing, and that is the bot right there. Holy shit. So wait, I don't know. It wouldn't make sense to have teapots like in this tab where there's no time limit, because teapots are inherently time limited. Yeah, so it doesn't make sense there. Okay, so you just gotta do one without the extra bonus. I forget, will I reach 1.1 million damage if I just like buff everything and just use Oberon straight from the get-go? I forget.
貴様の用意した皿だ。残させ食べると白兵戦行きます。
Oh yeah, wait, I still have oh no, I can't change it here, right, because I had lower resolution and lower frame rate to spare my poor battery when I was farming shit. Whoops.
今のうちに準備を。白兵戦行きます。とくと見とれよ。剣を見せる。これぞ獣の象徴。やだな。今のうちに準備を。 さて、ここからだ。運命、愛の望みを声にせよ。
So wait, how much damage does this do without Oberon's?
それはいつか来る兆しの星。誰に
Why not bring Cinderella for this? You can't tell me what to do.
アラウンドカリバーン。
Trying to raise bond for our other two Tamamos right now.
見るがよい。これが貴様らの繁栄のこと。欲望の空を切り裂く流星のきらめきである。デイバロンドムスアウレア。
So all that was 800k without the last buff from Oberon. Okay, so that would basically kill for sure every single time.
どうも。劇場の我がし望みを声にせよ。見るがよい。これが貴様らの繁栄のこと。欲望の空を切り裂く流星のきらめきである。デイバロンドムスアウレア。
Yeah, okay. So if I want to actually spend my Storm Pods on that every time, I just go with that. Alternatively, what other areas do we have? We got Russia, which I think I could just... I think I can safely use some Ribuki there. So, some Ribuki. Just in case, let me just switch it like this. Oh, hold.
5月の第2日曜日といえば母の日ですね。
Yeah.
いつも慣れた頃ほど
Giving them
油断
teapots.
しやすいもの受け取りは。
So, I forget, we save the... Actually, wait. Does the high difficulty stuff give more T-Pod? Or, Bond? Or... Let me see. Russian area... It gives... No, it doesn't give more. And obviously, since these are CQs, they're one time only, right? Yeah, it's one time because they don't have the infinity symbol designating. Yeah. So... Okay, so you would just use the teapots on the free quests. And we don't have any other main quests to deal with, so... Hawaiian endless summer vacation. Oh god. Wait a second. Great Barrier Reef egg? Oh no, I don't want to see that fucking egg ever again. That's like the stuff of nightmares. Western America... Lance? Or Lancer? West US. Oh. Oh god, my voice went for a moment. Oh, okay. Oh. And yeah, that has like roughly the same amount of... Okay. So... I just go do this. And yeah, at this point... Yeah, you would just basically pick any of the other requests to... Yeah, use them to target farm whatever drops you may need. And... Are there any that drop bones? Any bones? No bones? I don't see no bones. Yeah, no. I guess maybe chains or Yggdrasil seeds. Well, actually, no, we don't have some of these nodes yet. I guess I have to update my FGO material calculator with all the servant enhancements I've been trying to do. Like, I've been trying to, like, during idle time in transit and everything, like, spend some time while I'm waiting for our next stop to basically try to skill up some servants. Bro, oh my god, even if I do use that, like, random, like, idle time in between, that shit still takes forever. Like, I'm trying to, like, work my way from the bottom up for getting servant levels to 666 for all the 0 to 3-star servants. Bro, like, I only just got to Jason. I'm like, bro, oh my god, it takes so long to tap through every single thing. You know what I really wish for FGA? Like, could we just automatically skill servants up or something? Nah, that'd be a little bit complex to try to code properly without having you waste precious resources or click through menus by accident. But oh my god, it's annoying. Anyways, let's go use some teapots. Oh, did anyone else go hard on farming the lotto event in FGO? Oh, God. Sorry, like, I'm still trying to, like, still in the middle of settling back in after picking jury duty. Again, I'm gonna keep whining about this for a little while until I've, like, feel fully rejuvenated from it, but... Oh my god. Like, if you just kind of, like, look at it, if you kind of, like, zoom out at what I've been busy with the whole week, and you, like, kind of be a bit reductive about, like, what it is that we're doing, it's like, oh, you just went to a courthouse, you sit and listen to lawyers talk, and then you talk with 11 people to decide on verdicts. It's like, how is it that hard? Oh my god, like, the amount of, like, time and energy spent having to wake up early, show up at, like, in some early ass hours in the morning, having to go through all the proper procedures and speeches and everything, and then attentively listen
and try to like pick out very specific details or lack thereof, and then having to keep track of all the shit in your mind with all possible like elements or lenses of like objectivity, fairness, impartialness, but then just naturally will subconsciously or consciously bring in bias or other like common sense views, when as jurors it's like, no, you can't necessarily just solely just use common sense as like your driving force of logic. Like if you're gonna do that, you need to like find other pieces of evidence to help connect that line of logic that you're going down. Otherwise, you can't just say like, oh, I mean, isn't it common sense that if someone shows up here, it's like, well, in our mind, in a common sense, everyday minds, yes, surely, but yeah, shit don't work like that in terms in like a legal lens. It's pretty fucked up. Like the waters get muddied up so much. It's really scary. Like when you kind of think about like the things that people get away with, and you like see like on the news like, oh, this ended and this person got away with like not guilty on these charges, when maybe like if in your mind you kind of just like make assumptions like, wait, shouldn't that just be like, you know, boom bam done, like guilty? Is like when you kind of like go through fine print, all that like cold hard logic, it's like technically no, and that like that fucking scares the shit out of me. I'm gonna be part of that kind of a process that we would kind of scoff at on the news, because like when you glance at headlines or like sections in the news, you go like, it's like, come on, like how did that happen? Now that I went through deliberations as a juror, I'm like, oh, we may be extremely reluctant, but being as impartial as possible, it's like, oh no, like technically they can get away with shit like this, and we're the reason why. I'm like, oh no, I feel bad, but it's just like you can't bring bias or emotions into this. Like, we feel bad, but in terms of the procedures and the things you have to like, the method of thinking, it's just like, damn, this shit sucks. So yeah, like at this point, if I hear anything about any trial at this point with like people having mixed messages on like verdicts being rendered and stuff, no, I'm not gonna give any of the jurors any hard feelings, because it is not simple. It is not simple. Like, they'll probably just think, you know, like we all think in our heart of hearts, like, no, that person deserves this, but technically, we can't say that, or we can't decide like that. And it pains me so much. I'm just like, dude, this, again, this shit is fucked. Like, even though, like, I don't think it, like, this whole ordeal has really fazed me that much, now I'm, like, just kind of, like, repeatedly bringing it up in my mind over and over. I'm like, nah, like this kind of sticks with you after you go through like jury duty, and depending on whatever case it may be that you have to kind of like reach a decision on. Okay, wait, what's this Great Barrier Egg one? North Oceania. Huh? Wait, what the heck? What is this? Wait, what? Wait, I was looking at the wiki for this free quest. Wait, is it random classes or do they count as all four? Oh, it's okay, so it's random. So you have one singular node, but it's randomized. in some small way. Although, it's all the cavalry classes, so you just bring in your favorite alter ego and go, hey, hey! Or you just bring in berserkers. You know, it's also interesting, like, the kinds of people you meet for jury duty. Because this one person that I was talking to, like for me, personality-wise and stuff, like, I usually don't really feel the urge to really go out, be adventurous, socialize, wander the fucking downtown city streets at like dead ass of night. I'm not that adventurous. Like, the guy is like that kind of made friends with, like, he is super chill, but man, like, he really has, in my view, that impulsive desire to just like not sit around and just like gotta go out, you gotta walk around, you gotta explore, gotta take chances, you gotta do this and that. I'm just like, I get that feeling of adventure and excitement, but I'm just like, for me, I'm just content on sitting my ass here on my computer, just live streaming or binge watching some anime or just playing some random games with friends, and I am perfectly happy about that too. But then I feel like I'm getting this like subtle judgment from that guy I was talking to. It's like, really? That's it? It's like, you know, there's more out there. It's like, yeah, I know there's more out there. They're like, we have a whole world that we could technically go out and explore, take our time and money out of to like travel to another country or something like that. But I'm like, do I even want to at this very moment? Do I have the financial means to do it? Can I go through the logistics of having to set up luggage, like set that much time apart to then travel to like a foreign ass country just on impulse, at least just judging from that guy's energy? I'm like, no, I don't have the means to do that shit. And I feel like he's like accidentally judging me for just being content with just kind of keeping to my bubble until like I feel like I do want to go out. like that person's like I view him as a great guy, but not one that I can like get like, I would say, along with, I guess, because I don't know. Because like, it's just like, I don't see us meshing in terms of like what we would want. Like, let's say if we were like friends that can meet each other regularly, because, you know, like, he's still technically a juror that I just happened to meet because we just got called for it. But like, one thing that was really off-putting, like, on this final day and everything, like, on the whole topic of like, you know, experiencing things in life and going out and doing stuff, I mean, you could probably feel like, oh no, just encouraging you to get out of your shell and do it. I was like, okay. And then he brought up, like, come on, have you tried mushrooms before? Have you tried acid? I'm like, what the fuck are you saying? Like, what are you telling me? I was like, you're telling me to consider taking acid or shrooms? I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? Like, I get it for you, like, if you said something like, oh, like, have you tried drinking alcohol before? You know, like, you don't know if you never tried, or, you know, stuff like that. I was like, okay. But, as like, if he's asking me, like, have I, like, how do you, it's kind of like the, how do you know it's bad if you haven't done it? It's like, how do you know taking mushrooms, acid, or smoking weed is bad if you've never done it? I'm like, I don't need to take those to know that it's something I never want to get near in my life. I'm like, it's one thing to experience the new things or like different things in life. It's another thing entirely when you bring drugs and random psychedelic shit or some other crazy things into the mix. Like, what the fuck? I'm sorry, like, that just made me have a huge ass problem. Like, from that point onwards. Like, bro. Like, technically, even though we've been stuck for the whole week together because we had to go through jury duty, how the fuck would you just tell someone, like, as an avenue of experiencing something new in life. Why would you tell them to like, if we would consider taking shrooms or acid or smoke weed? I'm like, no. Like, I never looked into like the actual health risks or whatever, but like, that's just something that should be implied. Like, no, I don't want to take anything. My enjoyment is just something of what I want to do, not like, it's like, it kind of gives off the feeling of like, can you really be can you really say you experienced like this joy if you haven't done this? Like that's the vibe it was given off to me. Like, you know, it wasn't anywhere near his words, but that was the vibe that guy was giving off to me. I'm just like, I get it, you're a cool guy to hang around, but if you're just gonna like repeat that shit to me, then no, I am completely opposed to his method or philosophy of finding avenues of enjoyment in life. Like, going to different countries, seeing different cultures, talking to different people, making connections? Sure, that sounds like, you know, like nerve-wracking for me, but also like, okay, like, I understand why, because, you know, like, that's how we grow as people. We're social creatures. Like, we grow, develop, maybe regress, like, by meeting new people, talking with them, getting different perspectives, and just learning things that we wouldn't have known about learning otherwise. But then, how the fuck would you just suggest to someone like, it's like, and it kind of feels like, you know, like, what was it? Kind of feels like a person's tapping you on your, with his elbow, going like, hey, come on. He's like nudging you on like the side of your chest or on the side of your body, like, with his elbow, going like, come on. And I'm just like, dude, like, it's one thing if you want to like convince me to, quote, like, come out of my shell or just be more social or adventurous with going out into the city and just seeing stuff, because you never know who or what you'll bump into that might either change your life, or maybe you just so happen to meet that special someone because you did go out. Because, you know, like, if you're thinking about relationships, you're never gonna see anyone if you just stay at home. Like, that's obvious. But whether or not, like, I would want to at present, it's just like, not at this immediate moment. I got other life priorities that I really should sort out before I even decide on like what would basically affect the next 10, 20 years of my life. I need to focus on like the next 3 and stuff like that, you know? Yeah, it was just so absurd. I'm just like, bro, like, would any of you just walk up to someone going like, so you haven't really like done or experienced all this kinds of stuff, so it's like, well, if you want to try something new, have you tried smoking pot? I'm just like, huh? What, like, why would something of that sort just be your first like gut reaction to just offer as a suggestion? I mean, like, in terms of other like changing course for a little bit, like, you know, like, he knows a lot more in terms of like the realms of like movies and like other sources of entertainment, like talking about sports, you know, kind of like, well, I guess in our view, for anyone watching this right now, it's like, you know, quote unquote normie shit. I don't mean to like generalize it like that, but, you know, just for the sake of being silly, you know, he was like pretty normie, like talks about like the movies, sports, and drinking, and smoking pot and shit. It's like, okay. And he doesn't really do much with anime shit. You know, he obviously knows about it. He like used to play video games, but kind of grew out of it because, you know, like, from what I saw, that guy, he just wanted to see more in life instead of like prioritizing video games, even though like, you know, he played it originally as a kid, but then now it's just like, nah, I just want to do all this stuff instead of just doing it. I was like, oh, no, that's perfectly fair. You want to see the world and not spend time like in a room or even just on the phone like playing stuff when you could just be seeing like all around you the people and environment. I was like, that's perfectly understandable. But like, and actually I'm going back into that previous line of conversation, but man, I feel
so disconnected. If I were to talk to anyone outside of like, you know, anyone here on Twitch or YouTube, or anyone beyond my immediate friend circles, like, I feel so out of place with all the things I don't know. Cause like, that guy, you know, even though I was bitching about him, like, as like, you know, the whole shroom thing that I was talking about, like, in terms of like, just socializing, I had nothing to converse with him. Like, it's like we're reaching for like things to talk about. Because, you know, if you're stuck with like some people for a week, and there's someone that's like, you know, like, you're just like close enough to open up a conversation with, because, you know, if we're stuck here, we might as well just like sit in here and get comfortable talking with each other for a week, you know. But then like, yeah, he was like talking about all kinds of movies, like, oh, have you seen like, you know, like X, Y, and Z movies by these directors or these actors or any of this, and I did not recognize like 99% of the shit he said. Like, I know the name Leonardo DiCaprio, I don't know much else, or these directors that worked on these movies, or even like, oh, have you seen it, like movies by this director? I'm like, by what director? Or like, you know, it's like, do you know these movies? No. Do you know this director? No. Do you know anything about the Warriors game for basketball last night, or the other day? I'm like, no. And then the more I kept saying no about like whether or not I knew about something, it made me feel so much more ashamed and embarrassed of myself. The more I kept saying no, just straight out. And it seemed like internally, that dude was like flabbergasted. It's like, how is it this one dude that's like, you know, again, I'm making up words in his head. It's not what he said or thought or in any way. I'm just making assumptions of what he's probably thinking in this guy's head. I was like, dude, I have not met someone this uncultured or whatever that doesn't know all these famous movies, actors, basketball teams, or whatever. I mean, like, I know the name, like, you know, the Golden State Warriors, but I don't know anything about watching basketball because I don't give a shit about basketball. Like, I mean, I could watch like shit like Kuroko no Basket like all fucking day, but in terms of like actually watching NBA games, like, I don't feel really excited about watching sports ball in general. So then, and then it came to shit like traveling. It's like, oh, have you ever been to Nepal? Have you ever went to China, Japan? Have you ever went like you know, to like this state or that state or this country, that country? And, you know, for the most part, no. Or the times I did travel to some places, it was when I was very young and would not have a good recollection of things, so then there wouldn't be much point of conversation there. So then I just kept feeling like needles stabbed into my heart out of pure embarrassment that, like, the guy's like, you know, he's doing his best trying to find some common ground, trying to find some topic to then expand a conversation from and build like and establish like a connection of friendship. Like, he was trying to connect with me and I wanted to, but I'm just like, how about this? No. This? No. That? No. This? No. What about those? No. I'm just like, oh my god. I don't have shit in common to like talk with anyone outside of the realm of like video games, anime, and God forbid we talk about music. That's not like video game music in general. Like, I don't know shit about like no rock bands, no fucking like jazz bands, or like hip hop, rap, or metal, or any of the different subgenres of metal, because I swear when I hear metal, I hear like a bajillion different things of metal, like heavy metal, whatever metal, I don't know. You could just probably say whatever random descriptor and attach metal and append metal at the end of it, and I'll believe you that's a musical genre. that's how like little I know it. I'm just like, what? God, I mean, like, it definitely is a wake-up call for me to like at least look up more shit to learn about like
in either fields of entertainment, travel, music, or whatever. But man, I feel so socially inept when it comes to like, if I was like isolated from any friends and family, and I was plopped into some random urban city and just had to make do with the connections I would make with the people I bump into, I would be hard pressed to find anyone that I could that would like try to find some common ground with me. Because like then there's also things like, oh, like do you like drinking? It's like, no, I don't do alcohol. Or it's like, do you smoke pot? No, I don't smoke shit. I was like, do you do shrooms or do you want to take acid? I'm like, no, put that shit away from me. And to that guy that I like was kind of like, you know, like constantly pressing for like, you know, different topics to like common ground to find. The comment that kind of like, that's kind of eating away at my mind right now was about how he just kind of made a passing comment about how I'm too straight-laced. And I'm just like, I mean, like, is that so wrong? It's not, like, he didn't say it was like wrong, but it felt like the implication of commenting about how straight and narrow someone is, like, you know, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't like do psychedelic shit or whatever the fuck acid. I like what I hear acid, but I don't even know what the fuck it is. But I'm like, when I hear any of that shit, I'm like, that's a hard no, brother. So then it's just like, I feel like there's this subconscious like assumption or feeling of like pity directed at me that I do not want at all, because I keep saying no to all these like questions. And I'm just like, because like, you know, like in terms of me, like you know, like I was like, do you like watching anime, or do you know of any anime? Like, you know, he's watched some, but not much in recent memory, so that's not really an avenue of conversation. Video games, he's grown out of it. Like I said, he's grown out of it because he wants to be adventurous and see everything else in the world, so that's kind of like a non-starter there. So then I'm like, well, shit, I'm already out of things to talk about. It's like, man, if I had to like, if I was isolated from all the people I currently know and family, and had to like re-establish like a social life or social circle from a blank slate, I would be in dire straits with trying to forge new connections with like people in the real world, or like outside like outside of the realm of social media. For me streaming, or anyone in chat just like listen to me ramble right now, like putting like this whole environment aside, if I was just plopped in the middle of like an urban city and basically like tasked with living my life, make new connections with any new people at that point, I would be in fucking trouble. I've been rambling so long that the screen went off. Hold on 1 second, sorry. Okay, hold on. I need to like change the graphic settings real quick. But yeah, I mean, mainly for the most part, this stream is just me just kind of rambling about my learning experiences and other stuff like from jury duty and stuff. And just kind of rambling about certain individuals that kind of stuck out to me, and other elements of the case and stuff. But it's just like, man, like now that I'm like put out of my, or being put out of my comfortable social circles, I guess, man, I kind of feel like a fish out of the water, just like flopping, gasping for air in a way, if you will. So wait, what's this one? Endless Summer Vacation? So this is Hawaii. Hawaii is... Wait a second, Ibaraki Doji. Wait a second. Holy shit, 580 boxes? Holy shit. Oh, goddamn. Oh, wait, no, didn't I do enough, things to claim extra teapots? Hold on.
先輩は潮干狩りに行ったことはありますか？小さな方か
Man,
ら
is
コ
anyone
ツ
in
コツ
chat
と
like the adventurous type to kind of like go out into like either the city or... I mean, is there anyone in chat that like that would on a whim just set up a trip to a foreign country just like that at a snap of a finger? It's like, man, like I want to go to the UK right now or Finland. Like anyone at like the snap of their fingers just go, like decide like that. I like, I know I like, in the grand scheme of things, if you know, I probably haven't met as many people as you would probably think or whatever or assume, but has anyone ever met that kind of person that like is so outgoing to the point where they just straight up tell you in conversations like, oh yeah, I just want to go to like Nepal or this other country or do some hiking in like somewhere in Europe or some shit. I'm like, I'm like, thumbs up, because like, I mean, that's pretty cool, like that you went out of your way to experience all that. But like, they make it sound so easy, and it's like it kind of gives that like implication of like how, or he was kind of like implying like, how can you not bring yourself to travel around the world? I'm like, bitch, there is a couple things barring us. 1, time. 2, money. 3, setting that shit up. 4, and most importantly for me, and depending on a lot of other people, do we even want to feel like traveling in the first place? You know, it's like I mean, it's one thing that like people keep themselves like contained in a bubble and then just intentionally just not, or like in a way like intentionally concealing themselves off from the rest of the world. But then it's not really that. For me, it's just like I don't really want to go on a like I don't really want to go on a vacation in a foreign country right now. I just want to play some fucking games. You know, it's like, it feels like it kind of gives out the feelings like, you know, is it so wrong that I just want to like sit here, chill, and just enjoy myself with some good games and talking with like chat or some other shit like that? You know, it's like, I don't know. Like, again, on one hand, like, we all should experience something new in our lives, but the main thing is on our own terms. I think that's the thing that like got me so worked up, like talking, or that got me like mentally worked up, like as he was kind of the guy I'm talking about is kind of going on and on and on about like, you know, the new, like having new experiences. Do we like, it's the main thing of, do we want to get these new experiences right this instant? I'm not gonna drop everything right now, but maybe at some other point. I'm not saying I will never do it. I'm just saying, like, maybe at some point when I feel ready mentally, financially, and had other preparations and everything, I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me go to Japan, you know, like, or some shit. Cause like, that is gonna be like a dream vacation for me. It's just like, do I want to take the time, and do I even have the financial, logistical means to like get all that set up right now? No, definitely not. So yeah, it's just like, like, it wasn't that guy's intention to really be inadvertently I would say inadvertently judgmental, because it feels like having like showing like reluctance to traveling or being outgoing like implies that you never want to do anything about that, or it's like you never want to learn about the rest of the world. I'm like, I didn't mean to give off that vibe that I'm intentionally closing myself off from the rest of the world. It's just like I just want to vibe. I just want to like do my own thing. It's not that I'm closing the gates to like the rest of the world around me. It's just like I'm just sitting here on my chair. I'm just like I'm having fun just farming. You know. I don't know. Like going back to like a couple paces here. Like I have drunk I did drink like some shots of alcohol before, like during like sometimes before like a shot of rum, whiskey I think it was, or some like add some like cups of sake at various points, like just to see whether or not I even like the taste, right? Or just how it feels or whatever. And in each of those experiences, like whether there's mixed drinks or whatnot, because like I didn't like I probably should have said like, you know, I did consume it at some points just to see what it tasted like. I mean, in hindsight, I probably should have said like I did try, I just didn't like it. But I feel like that person would have just immediately went like maybe just didn't find the right one for you, and that I would have to go on some alcoholic journey to find the drink for me. I have a feeling that guy was gonna like, if I had to like mentally prepare branching dialogue paths in my mind in some dumb visual novel like mental hurdle or whatever, then I'm like, if I say like, oh, I mean, I tried like some of these things before, some mixed drinks, some straight up, I was like, I don't really like it. I feel like he would have immediately bounced back. No, I gotta keep trying to find the one for you, because he's that kind of guy. I'm just like, I feel like he would have said that to me. Like, I mean, I don't remember like what brands or like rum or whiskey or mixed drinks that my friends gave to me, but or sake or whatnot. But like each of those times I've had alcohol, like those shots of alcohol at varying points at varying months and years, I'm like, I don't like how these taste. Like, I don't like the way it feels going down like my throat and everything. Like, or some really dry sake that I've had before, or the way that mixed drinks feel. Like, cause I believe they mix whatever alcohol with Calpico. And honestly, now that I've tasted Calpico, like before mixed drinks and then after mixing it in like an alcoholic beverage or whatever, Calpico sucks ass, I'm sorry. Like, how does anyone even like drinking it by itself, let alone mixing it with whatever alcoholic thing you have on hand for mixed drinks? That shit ass, I'm sorry. So that was even more off-putting to why I just don't do alcohol. Like, I've tried some here and there, and I tried various stuff, some sake, whiskey, rum, whatever the fuck mixed drinks that my friends made over the years, like on 2 different occasions I think for mixed drinks, and I did not like a single thing. So I'm just like, yeah, at this point, no, I should have said to that guy, no, alcohol ain't for me. Like, I should have told him, nah, like, I gave it a shot, like, at these different occasions. Man, dude, hindsight is a bitch. I should have said that I actually did try at some points. You know, it's moments like these, it's moments of self-reflection like this that kind of make you think, like, man, I need to be a better conversationalist and understand my own personal history better off the top of my own head.
Because, like, I'm pretty sure we've all had those moments when we're talking about stuff. It's just, like, after a conversation ends, or maybe, like, you're in the classroom and you're saying something, and then it was kind of like, an average response and didn't really get much out of, like, let's say the teacher or other students in terms of, like, how it helped out other people. And then it's after class, you go, like, oh, I should have brought up this fact because blah, blah, blah. And then it's, like, half an hour later after the class ended, and it's just like, bro, I was like, damn, why did I bring that up earlier? How did I forget? I feel like that's me every time when I'm trying to converse with, like new people I don't know, in terms of, like, trying to strike up conversation and maintaining it and having a good time socializing. I feel like, oh my god, now that I've just been having this whole ramble about, like, what my own social experiences, like, during and post jury duty, it's just like, damn, I should have brought those topics up. I feel like the world's biggest idiot. Wait, what was this close again? Oh, it's the Lancer one? Oh, okay. But yeah, like, instead of, like, alcohol or whatever, though, like, honestly, in terms of, like, drinking hobbies, kind of, like, just turn my eyes toward, like, coffee. Because, like, after, like, at some point, like, some time ago, my friend brought me to a coffee shop, and, like, it was, like, some pretty, like, snazzy looking one or whatever. Or no, not like snazzy, sorry. It was more like a very comfortable atmosphere, and then they serve, like, some light roast coffees. Like, my first one, actually no, I think I'm mixing up some other things beforehand. But yeah, like, my first, like, specialty coffee, I guess, it was like this light roasted, what was it? Or was it medium? But yeah, I think it was like this light roasted Ethiopian, the single origin Ethiopian cup of pour over coffee. And yeah, I can, like, go on and on about that. Because of, like, you know, like, like, kind of, like, very going into coffee snob territory at that point. But it's just like, yeah, it's kind of like, you know, like, I could have said something about, like, how I thought coffee was, like, this, but then, like, you know, like, have we ever tasted, or, like, or, you know, just bring up, like, just some kind of conversation about coffee or some shit, man. Now I feel like, in hindsight, man, should have brought up shit about that. Because, like, instead of, like, because, like, you know, like, most people, I would say most people, I would say a good handful of people you would probably meet out on the street that's 21 plus would probably have, like, either would consume alcohol on occasion or has consumed alcohol before, and that's their, like, initial point of conversation it was someone they don't know. Because, you know, like, if you drink, it's like, oh, you can talk about drinks and shit, or, oh, if you, like, do this, then we can, you know, talk about that. Like, man, man, I feel a bit frustrated with myself.
望まれることをそうなの望まれたようにそれはいつか来る兆しの星
Because, like, I can kind of go on and on about, like, how much more fun I found coffee, like, once I actually learned about just other varieties instead of, like, instant coffee or dark roast coffees that we usually kind of get served at, like, let's say, like, at the big chain places like Starbucks or something. For the most part, you're always just getting some form of a dark roast coffee that's, like, really heavily bodied, bitter, and has that more roasty, sort of smoky, burnt kind of like a feeling aroma to the coffee, which people would kind of like associate with coffee.
But then, as you actually have like medium to very lightly roasted coffees, it actually like changes up a lot. Like smells fruity, feels juicy, acidic, even. And you know, where am I going with this at this point? I don't remember where I'm even going with this in conversation, but yeah. I think all in all, I just suck at conversing with people. I need to work. I need to better myself at just talking to people. And I don't know, because at this point in self-reflection, I feel like I'm having to bring myself to speak for the sake of it. But it's more like keep a conscious mental check in mind about like maybe thinking about like, or maybe like observing people like that you're talking to like try to guess your best way into striking up a good conversation for you and the other person to hit it off well. I think that's the thing. It's like kind of like that, like how well do you get people to then like establish that initial conversation and lay out that initial path to friendship or connection or whatever, you know. I don't know, but again, yeah, like really just show me I like, you know, you gotta branch out and like see new people, but at the same time, man, I feel like there's like a million things that I probably need to learn before like going out to meet new people, because it's like if you don't have much things in your life that you've experienced, it's hard to kind of like have like some common ground to meet at with other people you don't know. Otherwise, if you're not on like even enough footing conversation wise or interest wise, it's just like they don't know what to really do with you or whatever to spend time with, so they just kind of like okay dude, it's like bye bye, you know. But if you know, I don't know. I just don't know. And I feel so bothered about it. So did I do we only have like 5 nodes to start with here? The rest of this is just, I guess the rest of this is just the, what was it? Yeah, the challenge quests. Oh, sorry about that. Actually, what thing do I wanna farm out more than? Oh, excuse me. Hawaii. Scandinavia? No, Scandinavia was... No, wait. Wait, what? Oh, I'm getting confused by how the wiki organizes this, because the FGO wiki organizes this as Eastern Europe for Scandinavia, but there's a separate Scandinavia that shows the Valkyries, which is not here. That is in a later update. Oh. Okay then. So, what do I want to farm from this? So do I want ice and bullets? Hey, Setika. How you doing? Do I want... Nah, I don't think I need any blue gems right now. Do I want shells and phoenix feathers? Maybe. Do I want a whole crap ton of QP? Honestly, I do need it. You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna go one more time for QP. So you been doing alright? You been playing some Nikkei? Branch those several characters you hate with passion? Ah. Oh, excuse me. Oh my goodness. I've had a very, very long week. Wait, oh no, I can't do QP up because of the... Oh, too off. That was my break. Jury duty. I can now legally talk about the trial. Although obviously, you know, like, I shouldn't say like personal shit, but I can talk about what the trial was about and how deliberations went and just like vague stuff about the jurors that I've met. I was actually having a whole tangent earlier about like one of the jurors I met and sort of kind of made friends with, or at least was like spend some time with as we were me and all the other jurors spent the whole week together essentially. Like I was kind of going off on like a whole thing about like socializing, aspects of like extrovertedness, adventure with like going out and seeing the world and all that. And then out of nowhere, the guy I was like just kind of like talking and being buddy with, he was like, have you ever considered trying acid or shrooms? And I'm just like, what? Why is that like one of your first things to mention in terms of like new things to try? I was like, it'd be one thing if you said alcohol or like have you tried like some other food or drink hobby or some shit? Like I don't know, like I could go on about coffee, but why is the first thing that why is one of like the other few things you bring up is like acid and mushrooms or weed? I'm like, no. Don't do that shit. And then he kind of gave a passing comment about, oh, you've been brainwashed about like by all the people telling you to go straight and shit. I'm just like, brainwash? I'm just thinking about my own personal health. I mean, obviously weed doesn't kill you, but it's just like, and shit like that. Otherwise, like, you know, my friends who have smoked weed, I mean, they'd be probably like 6 feet under if like weed actually was that lethal. But like, I don't know. It was just really off-putting when things got to that point about like, cause like the dude was trying to like find ways to connect and suggest like, you know, like what things can you do or experience or should you do and experience to get, you know, find some cool things in life that you didn't think about finding otherwise. I was like, okay. Cause you know, like we're humans, social creatures, we should always be experiencing new stuff and like getting out of our comfort zone, growing as an individual, culturally, socially. I get the intent. Not the method of taking pot, shrooms, acid, or like, from my view, like drinking alcohol for the sake of it, instead of like, oh, you just really like the taste or like how the drinks make you feel or something for, or maybe the atmosphere or the social aspect of drinking, because you know when you're drinking, you're probably in a bar, probably meeting other people, you like the atmosphere, socializing. I was like, if you got into that, okay, you might have a point. Well, then to just say, oh man, like how would you know you don't like to smoke weed if you haven't tried it? I'm like, bro, don't put any of that shit near me. It's just like I'm just so bothered. I'm sorry. Like that's basically it at the end of the day. I'm just so bothered about the fact that it was brought up like that. Did I watch the jury tutorial video? When I was in the jury assembly room during the day of having to come in for the start of jury selection, there was a pretty canned
jury duty like tutorial video, and it was the most like stock thing you can come up with. Like there were all these people that like with smiles on their faces, with like sparkles gleaming off their teeth, their pearly white teeth. Like, I love jury duty. It's like, oh, it changed my life, or it did this and that and enlightened me and all that. I'm just like, fuck that shit. Let me go back to my gacha games, dude. I want to see like Trigger's ass shaking whenever I shoot her sniper rifle or some shit. No, but like for real though, like it was an actual like interesting experience being a juror on jury duty. Like actually, begrudgingly, being selected to having to listen to the trial and then going for deliberations. Like it was an actual interesting experience. But not in the way that stock-ass government video portrayed it. Like, it looked like we were having the time of their lives. It's just like, no one would ever think they're gonna be having the time of their lives in jury duty. It's like, no, fuck that shit. I don't care how much, like they would get paid. Like, I ain't listen to that shit. Yeah, it was like super damn corpo, even though it's a government video. It was so damn corporate. Oh my god, dude. Like, they have points in that, like, corporate-ass jury tutorial video. But it's like, who would ever be this excited about jury duty? Who? Nobody! I have a law degree from playing 5K hours of Phoenix, right? Not gonna lie, during the trial and the proceedings and stuff, I was like, in my mind, I'm like giggling in my head about like, I was like, man, this ain't like Ace Attorney at all. I was like, where's Gumshoe just popping in out of nowhere with the updated autopsy report? No, it was not a murder trial, but I'm like, man, where's that updated autopsy report? It's so dumb. Or it's like, where's the? Or sorry, my voice cracked for a second there. It's like, where's the big hologram that like that Phoenix would conjure up out of nowhere and slam right in the prosecution's face to, like, you know, in the live action Phoenix Wright movie, bring up that huge hologram of evidence and then with two hands slam it into Edgeworth's, or was it Edgeworth, or no, it wasn't Edgeworth, it was Von Karma's face. He was like, take that, and then just slammed the holographic panel in his face and shit. I was like, dude, that is funny as fuck. Look, I don't know, like, however you're gonna view it, y'all gotta see the Phoenix Wright live action movie. That movie is funny as fuck. That movie is the funniest shit I've ever seen. Cause like, we know how ridiculous Phoenix Wright is. In live action, we would probably roll our eyes, assuming it, like, if this was like a Netflix adaptation, we roll our eyes. No, this is in Japanese and everything. And then we're like, wait, they're doing the most over-the-top shit, cause like, you know, like, let's say you're playing Phoenix Wright on the DS and everything. It's just like, you know, we bring up the court record button and we tap the evidence. I was like, okay, that's how we present it. How are they gonna portray presenting evidence in a very engaging way in the movie? Oh, just bring up a huge holographic panel of the evidence and then throwing it at the prosecution going, take that! And you just see like a huge holographic image of like that evidence. Dude, that is the funniest shit. Yeah, like, y'all gotta just, if you haven't seen it, you gotta see the Phoenix Wright live action movie. It's so funny. Like, they skim over like they skim over the 3 cases in the original in the first Ace Attorney, you know, thing with like was it Larry or Harry? I forget his name. But like the first 3 trials they skim over as they kind of give like a brief overview, and then they skip immediately to case 4 with Von Karma. And dude,
It is so funny with how the corpus heaties go in that movie. That live action adaptation is the peakest shit I've ever seen. I ever remembered seeing. Oh, it's hairy butts. Right. Thank you, localization.
マスター、マイルームから閲覧できるマテリアルにはふと興味を覚えたのですが、今までいくつくらいのかけらを集めてきたので、今回も無事に帰還できましたね。
Man,
戦いは厳しく。
I have 573 things to receive all at once. Do I really want to claim all when there's all these separate foes and XP things that I don't want to claim right now at the same time? Actually, no, is there any XP here or is it just foes? Oh, it's just foes. Huh. Alright, you know what? Because I don't value my time on this planet, we're gonna click. We're just gonna keep clicking. Yep. Bit by bit. Until I get tired of this shit.
私は今そのように思った今回も無事に帰還できましたね。今回も無事に帰還できましたね。今回も無事に帰還できました。優れたマスターには幸運がついて回ると言います。今回も
Alright, we're chipping away at it. We're down to 564 things to claim.
気を引き締めて。
Alright.
優れたマスターには幸運がついて回ると言います。
63.
優れたマスターには
62.
今回も無事に帰還できました、ね。
61.
優れたマスターには幸運がついて回ると言います。
560.
今回も無事に帰還できましたね。
And another one.
厳しくなるそうですね。気を引き締めて。
And now I am tired of this shit. Get me out of here. Okay. So how's it look like with a class score? So you can unlock a variety of stuff. There are 9 class scores divided by class. Extra classes are divided into 2 groups. Support servants. The class score of the servant who holds the servant will be reflected. However, in certain battles, the effects in that battle will reflect your own status instead. Oh. So unless stated otherwise, it would use the other people's stats. Oh, we can't do extra classes yet? I mean, story-wise, it makes sense. We have to go through the call. I'm assuming we had to go through an ordeal call to then unlock an aspect of the extra class to then enhance. Otherwise, it has to be the main 7. Who's do I... Okay. Which class do I want to enhance? Like, out of all these classes... Huh... Okay, let's just go through this like one set at a time. Oh, I got a filter for servants only. There we go. Okay. So sabers, I have like, let's see. Saber Alter, Nero, Gawain Lancelot and Company. We got Summer Hokusai. Oh, I forgot. You don't. You have to just press on the on the Spirit Origin menu. I mean, Bargust is a good reason. And Ibuki. Classic Saber.
Also coming in an update to a gacha game near you, Honkai Star Rail, Fate Unlimited Blade Works collab. Oh boy. Dude, I can't wait. But also, I really want to wait because I need more time to save for Cypher, so then I can actually save more for the Fate collab, because if I suffer extremely pulling for Cypher and their light cone coming up eventually, my ass is gonna be fucking grass, like, trying to, like, have anything left for the Fate collab. You won't say a thing for Cypher? No, I read the leaks. I kept track of it. Like, they fucking spayed or neutered, like, fucking Cypher. I'm just like, the hell? I feel so mad about it. I'm coping for, like, a V7 change. Like, all things considered, like, she still does a decent job, but, like, I think if you want to look at it in a meta sense, I already have my Topaz. There shouldn't be a reason, like, a gameplay reason for me to pull Cypher. I'll still do it, but it's gonna be, like, bittersweet, given the things that I've read with the beta updates so far for Cypher. It's really weird. Like, they intentionally overshot buffs in one part, and then completely, not just reverted, but went even further with nerfing beyond the reversions to make her even worse. I'm just like, was it really that bad? You could have just, like, done the 180, but they went beyond a 180. I'm just like, man, now I just feel so bummed out about, like, my excitement for Cypher really went down. I'm just like, in terms of gameplay. I'll still pull for her because she's hot. But I'm just like, man, like, they could have just, like, been less aggressive with how they reduced the numbers and, like, maybe certain other effects, but it's just like, man, it's gonna, like, although people said similar things about Fei Xiao when she got her changes. Look where she is now. People said similar things about Jade when I pulled for Jade because, like, I don't know how to describe her without, like, coming off as degenerate, but, like, hot mom office lady character, I'm like, you know, working for IPC and shit, I'm like, she hot. So I pull for her, but goddamn, did that investment pay off as much as investing in Topaz? Holy shit. Provided that you have her E1. Provided you have the E1. But, so, cause, like, people kind of, like, wrote off Jade because, like, like, she doesn't do as much damage, or, like, like, we have Firefly or, like, these other, like, blast characters, not AoE, blast characters, because that was, like, the whole meta at the time for Penacony arc. And yet, aging like fine wine here, like, with a certain King Yuan. Look where we are now. So, like, and then, you know, like, the whole sentiment around Jing Yuan turn now that Sunday exists, although whether or not that fixes him as a character, no, you have to have Sunday. It doesn't fix Sunday as a, or it doesn't fix Jing Yuan as, like, fundamentally based on how his kit works, sadly. But what was it? Like, where am I going with this? I'm losing my train of thought. But yeah, like, as bummed out as I am for Cypher, like, in terms of the numbers that got nerfed in the context of the beta, it all comes down to how it actually plays and feels in practice. Because, like, people were really mid about Topaz because, well, I mean, contextually, there was not that many follow-up characters to pair up with Topaz, so she couldn't really shine as a sub DPS without the proper drivers like Fei Xiao, Dr. Ratio, and stuff like that. But then, you know, once we did get them, it was like, oh shit, Topaz good. So the sentiment changed around that. And then, like, with Jade, everyone's like, I was like, why would you need Jade? Because, like, she doesn't provide that much, or maybe, like, she doesn't scale, she needs to scale up more, or
she needs this or that. Using her at this point, nah, she slaps. Like, her damage fucking slaps. So I'm like, so the people who are making assumptions based off of beta impressions, to me, having used Jade, they were fucking wrong about that. So wait, something about Penacony meta, Cypher being Spade. What the fuck does Spade mean? Oh, no, not that. No, I was like, when you said Spade like that, I was thinking Ace of Spades. No, I think you're thinking about. I was thinking about the other spelling. I think you're thinking about the other spelling for Spade. Isn't Spade with a Y, not S-P-A-Y-E-D? Spade like that, you're thinking about a shovel or the card suit. Yeah, I was so confused for a second. I was like, Spade? Dude, I love the English language. Don't you all love the English language? God, I was so confused. I was like, wait, Spade. I was like, did I spell that wrong? I was like, no. I was like, wait, no, we have another spade. It's a shovel. Here, hair. Nose. The nose. Don't you know? Okay. Let's keep filtering about class here. Which class am I going to improve? I'll probably just end up going Berserker, but let me see. I mean, there's a good argument for Archer. We got some good ass reasons right here for Archer. Although I should really be using Zenobia more because she's hot. Honestly, between her ascensions, I think. No, the only... Okay, wait. The only real difference between Ascension 1 and 2 here is not even her outfit. It's just the fact that her little, like... What are those things called? Like, what's her weaponry called? Was there any, like, explicit name for that shit? Or supposed to be just, like, some kind of floating ballistas or some shit. Well, either way, though, yeah, that's the only thing that changes, like, no flames? Flames. Yeah, the outfit itself doesn't really change. Like, she has, like... Oh, no. She has an extra ornament here with the... Oh, whoops. With the flame ballista things. And then here, just more ornamental, but then you have that little partial dress, but... I gotta say, I actually don't really... I'm not too much of a fan of how the dress looks because of, like, the fact that it's just a fragment of a dress, and then you just have the rest of the revealing outfit. Wait a second. Oh, it's like some of the wrappings on like her top and I guess like part of the lower body. So you have like some frilly stuff there, and then you have like that little webby like thing with chains or some shit, I guess. Actually, I'm not too sure which one I prefer. Honestly, not gonna lie, I kind of wish like one of her ascensions actually gave her, you know, some more proper coverage. More than the third ascension. And then I'd actually maybe prefer this over like the excessively, albeit sexy, like skimpy ass outfits like this. I mean, I'm all for it, but it's kind of like my similar feeling with like Ibuki outfits. Because like, I really like the competitive swimsuit thing.
But then like seeing like, let's say like we're not talking about the whole entire cheerleader outfit, but like you have like the little bikini thing here, but then you have all like the revealing parts of like the midriff and like the fishnet showing like the little skin between the net and all that. It's like, it's all like too busy. And then third ascension, well, I mean, actually no, that's like not as revealing in all things considered, but I don't think I like the whole like, you know, full on like Oni effects here with like the clouds. Actually, wait, all of them have the clouds? Oh no, all of them have the clouds, never mind. I guess like all the flames, the darker parts of the color scheme, and like the black sclera, even though the black sclera will always be awesome. But I think in this case, it's just like, maybe I'm like a little hung up on the fact that she's like holding up a big ass pillar on top of like part of the color scheme changes. Like, I just like the sleek, sexy simplicity of like the competitive swimsuit here. I think that's basically it. Anyways, let's see. For Lancers, we got Tama Lancer. Man, I haven't used Ritra in like a hot minute. Also, what were her outfits again? Oh, she has like the tail and everything. Honestly, yeah, I actually kind of want to just keep Ritra in Ascension 1 like this. Like the veil and everything. I like that little feeling of like mystique and stuff. Like just having it shows. Like, it kind of looks like pretty cool or alluring in its own right. It's like that little like attractiveness for like that like mysterious charm, I guess. Let's see, Bradamanta. Man, I haven't done, in like a meta sense, I haven't really done quick teams in a long ass time, in a hot minute. Let's see. Bunny Shisho. Ryder. Oh, like we have like Murasaki and everything. We got Ines. Aster? I mean, technically, like with the buffers and everything, like, I mean, actually, I need to check what the actual buffs are. But if the buffs are what I think they are, then I'm not 100% sure. Even though I have leveled like Tamamba up to 120. And oh, actually, I'm so close to Sanzong at Bond 10. Oh, actually, I'm so close there. I need to work on that. I didn't realize I was actually this close. What the heck? I didn't keep track of like. I really wish we could have some visual indicator off of a glance to see how close we are with raising up a bond level for every character. Like maybe a little thing on like the bottom left of the portrait to show like the bond number, because we have this little empty space here. We can show it, right? Surely? Maybe I should use Queen Shiba more. But yeah, so maybe we can possibly go for caster. Assassin. Yuyanzhou is precious. She is, after going through that event with her, she is beyond precious. Like, lore-wise, like, because she was fused with the, where was it? Where was the thing in lore? Oh, yeah, like, fused with, that aspect of Empisa and whatever. Like, her mental resilience is, like, so low that it's so endearing just seeing her, like, have a little, like, adorable breakdown from being overly praised. It's like, you give her head pats, like, oh, she wants head pats, but then you keep head patting her, and you keep praising her, and you don't stop. And then she just gets so flustered, it's like, so adorable. But, I mean, King Hassan is like a good argument for enhancing like the assassin class just on its own. And then we land in Berserker Land. So, I mean, one reason here, I'm a cat.
Good old #1 Berserker. Although, maybe I should use, maybe I should raise bond limit for Herc, but I only use Herc for, like, CQ scenarios when I actually have to survive and I can't just, like, fast, or blow through it super fast with a cheese comp or something. Let's see. Yeah, like Vlad for single target looping or bursting. Actually, what did Summer say Shonagon do again? Oh yeah, she's still quick. But single target, bonus on lawful shadow humans. Image X Alter. I kind of retired Summer Musashi now that I have Summer Boogie, sadly. You know, actually, I don't remember if I mentioned this, but yeah, I got Galatea a while back through getting spooked on pulling for Nero Draco, I believe, or yeah, I think pulling for Nero Draco, I got spooked by Galatea. You know, it's always so silly. Like, those pants look so silly. It's something about how bulky and rectangular it is when you look at the pants sleeve and everything. You see how smooth, like, each side is like a long rectangular prism or some shit. I'm like, so blocky. Actually, what weaponry am I okay with here? Because at this point, it's a difference between the hair ornament and, like, the weapons. Oh, no, it's not even hair ornament. No, that's just, like, little tail end of the weapon or something. Oh, so that kind of indifferent. But yeah, I have no idea who I want to enhance, so I'm just gonna go with my default, Berserker. Oh wait, whoops, wrong button. Press the wrong button. So wait, unlocking signs. Choose a sign you want to unlock. Expend items in QP. However, you can only unlock the sign at the beginning of a route or sign. Oh, basically, you know, you just gotta go through the grid in order. In addition, you need a special item which is available. Designated with this mark. Spend, unlock the sign. Torlocks. Oh, this is just like the level lock spheres in the sphere grid in Final Fantasy X. It's like when you're pathing one way, but you're blocked off by level 3, level 4, and shit. So you gotta path the other way, or until you get the unlock for it, or these torches. Oh. You're glad you dropped FGO a long time ago? I mean, this is like, I need to see what the actual buffs are. Let me see. Because, like, you know, like, out of necessity, you know, FGO needs to keep shoveling in some random gameplay enhancements to feel like there's, like, some sense of progression going. But if you put this aside, at the end of the day, like, you don't need to farm for this, at least as far as I can tell so far. Like, you just need your farming method of choice. Either Coin Skya for Buster, Artoria Caster for arts looping, or Scotty for quick looping, and you just blow through whatever content. Like, you don't need massive amounts of, like, damage enhancements from outside meta progression. Because, like, all the stuff that I've been farming up to this point was before this even existed. And now we have, like, some very small, even though small bonuses add up, small ass upgrades of, like, here's some extra crit strength. That's not gonna change how I'm overkilling waves of mobs by the tens, if not hundreds of thousands to farm for the next wave. Because, again, at the end of the day, we're just like NP looping, like, for the rest of eternity. It doesn't matter if we have, like, what else is here? it doesn't matter if our buster cards are 2% stronger when we already overkill shit that we're just doing menial farming for by 200,000 damage. And like usually if we get stuck on high difficulty story content, we would have the leyline stones for the sake of progressing through. We have the revive command spells. Like, we can just try again later and not feel like we have to really push for something for permanent content. I feel like there's no, real incentive to do event challenge quests aside from just seeing what random ass goofy gimmick they have in store for us. But that's not really a thing to really worry over. So this whole thing to me just feels superfluous. Like, obviously I'll unlock shit, but I feel like it's not really gonna effectively change the entire game as I've played it before with these small buffs, albeit they will stack, these small buffs now. You were stuck on LB4? I mean, honestly, Lost Belt 4, you're probably stuck on the Arjuna altar fight, right? Cause yeah, that is the big wall. Just like how Gawain was like the big wall when like Singularity 6 Camelot came out. Like, Arjuna Altar? No, he fucked my shit up. I needed to revive because that shit was so unfair. Wait, Chinese Lost Belt? Oh, that's Lost Belt 3. Lost Belt 3 is China. Lost Belt 4 is India with Arjuna Altar. I don't remember, what are fights you can be stuck on in, Lost Belt 3? Shangyu? Or the QSH fight? Or was it something else? I forget. Lee? Oh! Actually, what were the gimmicks for that fight? Because I don't remember being, I don't think I remember being stuck on it, but unfortunately I haven't archived that on stream, for YouTube purposes. I really wish I archived a lot of my earlier FGO stuff. The prison? I forget, were you debuffed like hell with trying to get out of there? I don't remember how that went. Actually, you know what? Since we're on this topic, let me look it up on the wiki. Which section number was that, Setica? Let me look up Lost Belt 3. What, how is it? Oh, Sin. Main quest. And then I need to find, Li Shuan. Oh no, was his name censored or called something else? Was he called something else in the story? And he was marked at... Oh yeah, his class was Assassin for that. Hold on, I'm kind of obsessed about this right now. Hold on, let me see. There's... No, not that. Royal Guard. No. Oh, was it the three break bars against the singular Li Shuan? I think I found it. You're poisoned, you can't use master skills for 4 turns. At the start, gain attack up based on remaining HP, removable. 1 tick of MP charge per turn. Hey Bryce, how you doing? Li Shuan will use intersection or whatever before Noble Phantasm. Servants debuff with taunt. Oh yeah, so basically like everyone just keeps getting murdered or insta-killed during that fight, Setica.
Yeah, no, I think with how I did it, I think like, yeah, I think I just had like, I think I either revived or had like a backline that could instantly NP to basically try to brute force the remainder parts, like, because people were just gonna die every time, because obviously Casa Artoria wasn't out back then. But you shouldn't be able to work through it now with supports, assuming you're using like Casa Artoria to basically just shrug off like Li Shuan's like busted ass damage. Because yeah, if I remember correctly, I think that fight, given what was given your servant options at the time, my servant options at the time of release, was only limited to what was out at the time. Oh, you uninstalled it years ago? Oh, like but for some reason, like being on the topic, maybe for some reason assume that you went back to it. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, let's see, art strength. Let's go with this. Let's go in this direction. What's this? Increase attack by 10%, defense of target by 10% when a command spell is... What the fuck? Commands? Oh, right. What happens if you do this? Oh, no, this just unlocks the rest of the pathing. It doesn't... The locks themselves don't provide any bonuses. No, it's just a blocker. There's no stat that comes out of this. Oh, that sucks. Or maybe there is, but they don't tell us until you claim it. Yeah, and all these are just command spell buffs, and I want extra attack. 10% effectiveness. There is like arts crits over here. Oh wait. So arts crits are those, arts effect, that's arts card strength, yeah. I'll just work my way down. They just run it down. Wait, there's also NP damage boost? Did I miss it? Oh. Oh. Oh, shit. So this is just drop rate. Star drop rate. Oh, the NP strength is all the way at the tail end here. Oh, fuck that. What about here? Also, it's in my eye right now. Oh, I mean, yeah, I mean, kind of no duh, they will put it all the way at the end here, but oh my god, that sucks. I mean, they know why it's so strong, but oh, ooh. Yeah, you gotta go all the way down these lines. Oh, okay then. You think the most important ones are crit gen, command spell, and NP strength? Yeah, I was gonna beeline for NP strength, so let's just move up. Yeah, so this thing, using the torch thing itself doesn't provide any inherent benefit. Okay. It's just, okay, you can move forward. No stat boost. You would think that, like... removing the locks would give you, like, some general base stat boost for every servant or something. It's like, every Berserker class stat attack is raised by 3% or some shit. No, this doesn't give anything. Like all these, it's like, oh, arts, quick, buster effectiveness up,
drop rate of crit stars up, NP strength up. Like, I was thinking that these nodes right here would have provided like, oh, 3% attack or 5% HP. No, dilly fucking squat, jack shit, nothing. So a command spell should come up on that was a slow bonus if you need, or should not come up often, but it's a bonus if you need pop one. Yeah, like when you need like a small boost. Yeah, I mean, every little bit helps when you're in dire straits where you have to actually use a command spell in battle. Oh my god. Alright. I think I know what I have to do.
そろそろクエストに戻る?
Alright, I'm scared. But do we gotta do it?
マスター
Do I claim all? Do I dare to claim all? Can my phone handle it? No. Yeah, you said like your phone was lagging like crazy from claiming everything at the same time, right? Should I actually just in my spare time just individually just claim a lot of this shit one by one? Cause yeah, you were concerned it would crash. Maybe I will just claim this stuff like one by one when I don't have anything better to do. Like let's say I'm out and I have to like wait for something or wait for like a doctor's appointment or some shit. I'll just spend my idle time just to think through the 559 things that I had to claim and just like tap, tap. It's like, hey Kirby, your doctor would like to see you. It's like, okay, time to close the game. I'll have to tap later. Or do I just spend the time right now and suffer with what I've been trying to do earlier today? Slowly raise everyone's skill level up to 6 bare minimum. Like, this is my goal right now. Just get everyone's skill. I don't care who it is, regardless of if I'll use them or bench them forever. I'm getting everyone's skills to level 6 because I need to start spending my mats. Yep, this is our life now. And with all the stuff I have to claim, I'm gonna have so much QP probably. I'm gonna have so much extra shit. Like, I'm gonna have to spend at some point. You're so happy to climb out of the bone zone. Congratulations. I'm still in the bone zone, I'm assuming. I need to like input everything back into like the material calculator with the servants that I've upgraded at this point. And see where I stand with like the material requirements. Because there's probably still a lot of other things I am missing critical amounts of mats for. And this is not even counting at this point like all the mats we would have to spend for class score. Yep. That's one servant. That is one servant brought up to 666. Now, I mean, there's a fair amount of people I went to like 10 with, 4, 9, but I just, oh my god. This would have been so much easier if we, like, I think it was a pattern issue or some shit, right? It would have been so much easier if we could just click and bring up a drag down menu or a pop-up menu going like 6 to 10? Yes. Oh my god. Feels good to be done with multi-year ambition. I've only I had to worry about dust. Oh, don't worry, if you just uninstall FGO and like put your phone in the corner of your room, it'll collect dust all by itself in the matter of months. No, just kidding. Oh god, I'm tired. I need to clean these bones. I think I'll, like, even though, like, there's more stuff I probably want to do tonight, because I want to just catch up on all my gotchas and everything that I need to catch up on before going back to trails, because this week of jury duty has really took a lot out of me. I mean, I should do the challenge quests and stuff, but nah, they'll always be there. Maybe we'll do them when we get around to it or something, I don't know. Am I done? Yep, the trial jury duty has ended. I am free to basically talk about the trial and deliberations, and like, I think they also said the verdict or whatever, but obviously, you know, obviously I'm not doing the stupid thing of bringing up people's personal details, that'd be stupid to me, but like, we can talk about what the case was about and all that. And you know, I was kind of going on about that like earlier this stream, but very basic overview. It was like a case about a restraining order, and then the complexity thrown in by the restraining order turning into it was a family court order that then had a criminal protective order put in place. So there's a lot of confusion, gray area, and a lot of fine print like that we had to like sift through as jurors. And if it wasn't for like one particular line in the family court order, this would have been the easiest open and shut case ever. Like, we would have probably like only deliberated for 30 minutes, but that one line of fine print made us deliberate and argue and bicker for 3 days. And it was like the biggest source of confusion and contention. That it's just like, oh my god. Was something minor or major? Like, overall it was like misdemeanor stuff. Like, nothing inherently like super criminal, but when if you actually were in the room with me, yeah, I kind of feel bad for like all parties, honestly. How hard that I argue? Actually a fair amount. Actually, you know, like had some say in the conversation, which I kind of, to an extent, I kind of feel proud about that. Because like, well, everyone's kind of like, while like a fair amount of people were basically having shining matches, because for some reason, like, people didn't want to establish that like prim and proper order of speaking at first. Because when people brought something up and there was like some good point or line of thought, there were so many people that wanted to keep interjecting and interrupting, going, but what about this or that, blah, 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 blah. It's like, can we just let them finish speaking first? Let them say their piece. And then, like, you know, it's like the shit we've been taught at school. If you want to say something while someone's talking first, raise your hand, keep your hand raised, and they'll see that you want to say something, so they'll probably like, they'll finish their sentences, and then they'll point to you as like, okay, you had your hand raised, what do you want to say about what I was saying? There was not much of that early on. It was a lot of people just interjecting. I'm just like, we're not gonna get anywhere. And we wasted like a day and a half because of shit like that. You're sick of them calling you but not picking you? At this point, just let me do the bit. With enthusiasm like that, they'll never pick you. Hey. You have to be like excessively reluctant but not deranged to basically get selected as a juror. Because like, I think like the lawyers basically have like these question traps to basically rope you into being selected. Because like, when the lawyers basically ask for juror questioning as part of selection, they question you on shit like, you know,
like how dead set are you, or how like easily are you going to be convinced if people tell you to vote one way or another. And people initially thought, the people that were with me were thinking like, oh, I don't know, it's like if I hear one thing I might be this way or it might be that other way, because like they're going with like a wishy-washy approach. That's exactly what they want to hear, because to the lawyers that basically means you're open to discussion, you're open to other viewpoints. It to them it sounds like you're like not just gonna be like a hard ass completely stuck in one way and one way only. It's like you might like have like a solid opinion or viewpoint on something, but it's like if something comes up, to them being wishy-washy like that basically demonstrates like you're open to other people's opinions. That means that's inherent like good juror qualities. So being wishy-washy is the thing you don't want to do if you don't want to be selected as a juror, because being wishy-washy actually gets you picked as a juror. Yeah, they can say their argument and you're open to like going like, oh, actually you might have a point. Maybe I wasn't like so like when people view that initial like on the fence aspect or the wishy-washiness, we kind of view that like, as the layperson, we kind of view that as bad, as like, oh, you're not firm in your convictions or whatever, you need to stand your ground. No, the lawyers want to know, are you open to other people's interpretations, and then you can properly deliberate back and forth on like, oh, like we have these viewpoints and these other viewpoints. Now we can kind of like you are prone in a good way to like being swayed by the significance and weight of other views. That's what they want. They want people to be impartial, to deliberate and see as many sides as possible to give a proper, reasonable verdict. That's what the lawyers want, and that's how a lot of us got caught or roped into being jurors, because again, that wishy-washiness is what they actually wanted to hear. If you basically go like as a stubborn motherfucker that like no one can ever convince me otherwise, like they it's like, oh no, like they have to be guilty or something. Nope, nothing's gonna tell me like that's why I'll be a good juror. Like no, that they don't want. So yeah, like they don't want they don't want the most stubborn ass hard asses in the juror box. They want people that are actually like, they can have a firm like viewpoint, but they still want them to be open to debate. That's the kind of people they're looking for. And being wishy-washy, yeah, it's like, yeah, that you're gonna get picked as a juror if you're gonna say that. That people believe otherwise is stupid. I mean, like, there's a lot of things that we assume about ourselves or other ways of thinking until we get into the juror box and get into that deliberation room, that you start learning about like, oh, well, they want people who are stuck in their biases. I mean, I've heard stories from relatives that have said shit like, or have been questioned about things like, oh, what do you think about the police? I was like, oh, I love the police. Like, they're never wrong, or they're this and that. They got picked as a juror. They were trying to come off, make an excuse of how biased they are for the police. They still ended up being a juror. So it's all up in the air whether or not you try to go with the wishy-washy approach. You will get picked like the other jurors in my room. Or from what my mom said about my relatives trying to get out of jury duty, they went like, oh, I love the police and all that. They got picked. They thought being completely biased for the police would basically get them out of jury duty. Police are an important part of the ecosystem? No, because the existence or the inherent aspect of people being a police officer is bias. Being pro-police sign of trust in law? No. like being pro-police in that regard, in terms of what we should be as jurors, is inherent bias that should not be taken into consideration at all with deliberations. If a witness testifies and says something, we should not believe them any less than a police officer, because that's supposed to be us being impartial. We can use the police officers like experience to kind of like give more credibility to what they're saying, like maybe, but it shouldn't really devalue if people were working other professions. It's a bias, yes, but it's bias that'd be a good sign. But then that's bias. You're not being impartial. You're viewing that occupation as an inherently positive thing, which is the bias. That's a positive bias. So that's not a good thing for a juror to think about. Oh. But yeah, I think that'll be it for tonight, actually. I'm so tired. Ultimately, even people picking out biases, yeah, like, obviously everyone naturally has biases. The thing they want people to understand that we all will have biases, but it's the level of understanding and how much the lawyers can determine that you can put those biases aside. But then you have what my mom's like relative went through with going, oh, I'm totally pro-police, bias. Oh, okay, you're a juror. And it's just like, because you would think that being overly biased would get you out of it, because there's no way with that level of enthusiasm or that like brainwashed way of thinking of like, oh, police can do no wrong. It's like, no, they got picked for it. So it's honestly a crapshoot. Because, like, you know how police sentiment is kind of, like, mixed all over the place in this day and age, at least within the United States, in context of the United States police systems. But, like, yeah, it's really odd. Because, like, that kind of a statement, I wouldn't have seen those kinds of people within the jury box with my particular group. For my mom's relative, no, that got them solidified as a juror. and they were like just in like in utter despair, going, oh, I thought that would get me out. You know, that kind of thing. It's mostly negative these days. Oh yeah, like it is mostly negative these days. But yeah, it's just like during jury instructions and everything, like we're basically instructed by the judge to basically not treat the police as any more credible than another witness that, let's say, just like an average Joe Schmo or maybe some random hobo. We would have to treat them with equal amounts of like significance until their testimony proves otherwise, that we believe them to be not credible because of what was said or how they behaved during trial and testimony and cross-examination. So, like, from starting biases, like, you would basically treat a hobo as the same as a police officer. It's only when they start talking and behaving and showing certain attitudes or tendencies, when you look at them, is basically when you determine things from that point. You know, their conduct. Since cops are no less fallible than anyone else, yeah, like cops are no less should be no less fallible. So that's why, like, you know, like from what you said like way earlier, yeah, like I mean, like in one sense, like, you know, it makes sense that, you know, police are an important part of our legal system, and it should be a positive thing to have police. You know, because they should be our protectors and help us, the citizens in need, should a crime occur or some other, like, trouble come up. Unfortunately, you know, life has happened over many years. But, you know, it's like, they're not, like, completely, like, what was it? Like you said in, just earlier, you know, they're no less fallible, basically. So that's why you have to treat them equally as you would like some, let's, you know, like an example, like a random homeless person that would still provide some form of testimony, is until they start
providing the testimony and how they behave and conduct themselves in the courtroom is then when we would have to judge them then, as they were in the courtroom. Doesn't matter how they, well, actually, I think there was a statement about like how they might have conducted themselves outside the trial. I think there's like some stipulation about that, but I don't remember the instructions exactly about that. But basically, you take things as you see and hear in the courtroom. That's basically it at the end of the day. And it's, kind of like, in one way, when you just kind of hear about all of what I'm saying, it might sound frustrating, but it is rather eye-opening where you're in the shoes of a juror, or the seat of a juror, I guess, so to say. And then you have to, like, basically shift your viewpoint to something more neutral, or as reasonably neutral and impartial as possible. So yeah, it's like all a very amusing learning experience. Like, one hell of a reluctant learning experience, because I did not want to waste an entire week of my life because of fucking jury duty. Like, you know what's worse? The compensation for every day. So you are entitled, unless like already paid for by your job, if they already say like, oh, we'll pay for jury duty for you, then you would have to get a waiver to not get paid by the courthouse because your job would already pay you, or would already cover that for you. But at least with where I am, they're only compensating me 15 USD a day. I spend 5 of that in transit, and having like a basic full enough lunch is $14 plus. I'm losing money every single day, regardless of compensation, going to that courthouse. It is fucked. The compensation has not scaled to the current cost of living at all. One thing that was ridiculous as I was looking around for other lunch options during lunch breaks, a big ass sandwich costs more than a day being at the courthouse. What the fuck? It's like, it's absurd, dude. It's like, that $15 might have been okay like 14 years ago or some shit. But now? Like, I mean, like, if we're gonna be stuck in that courthouse all day, we need to be like we need to be compensated by the hour, like minimum wage, to make up for the fact that like we're spending all these hours per day. The fact that we're only getting that like a smidgen of $15 for the day instead of for the hour is just pissing in the face of every citizen that's dragged into jury duty. Like, bro, it is, what the fuck? If you don't convert opportunity cost, you're still better off than that one person losing $1,000 a day. Yeah, anyway, in the grand scheme of things, like, there are other people in more sensitive occupational positions that are losing, like, not just 1,000, but thousands, if not tens of thousands per day because of the significance of the position they're in, but they couldn't get out of jury duty, even though I would assume they tried to apply for hardship reasons or whatever, because, like, their job is supposedly so important that the business that the guy is, like, working in, he's actually losing tens of thousands per day every day he's sitting in the courtroom. No joke. From how he's, like, framing, like, the operations that he has to work with. He's losing tens of thousands because he's stuck in the courtroom. I feel so bad for him. Like, the fact that the government doesn't compensate for stuff like that, because under the whole thing of like, oh, it's your civic duty, it doesn't matter. I'm like, bro, like, depending on like certain people's positions, they could be put out of business, out of the job. Many other people could be put out of the business because they're stuck in the courtroom for way too damn long. Like, that's like extremely scary. Like, imagine you have to manage a business and practically nobody can replace you. You would have to shut down your business for a week, 2 weeks, a month plus because you're stuck in jury duty? You could be out of business because you didn't make any money to pay for that rent or your employees. You know? It's like, I feel for that guy. Different courthouse may be more lenient. And that's the fucked up thing too. The fact that there has to be like geographical RNG of like, you know, you might have gotten out of it if you're in a different county or courthouse versus where I was with that guy in the current place that I went to. And that guy couldn't get out of it. And he was talking about like his financial occupational worries because like he might lose his business or people might lose their jobs because he's stuck in jury duty. Like, that's the incredibly fucked up part, right? It's like, what are you supposed to do like when the government screws you under like the reasoning of civic duty? It's like, I'm gonna lose my business, but you have your civic duty. How can you defy the government? It's like, bitch, I was like, I'm gonna lose like hundreds of thousands and also like dozens or however many jobs that guy has to manage or whatever. So it's just like, it's just completely asinine that like, you know, like that guy didn't qualify for like hardship or whatever to not be selected. I'm like, I don't think he would have every reason to, because it's just like, how can you tell a person to be gone for that long with like, because like, you know, maybe like in hindsight you could have like some safety nets of like people taking charge in your place, but I'm assuming he was that high up in terms of like the, you know, just in terms of running whatever operation he's running. So it's just like, damn. Luckily, most cases get settled out of court before it even hits a court. Man, I wish that case was even like was settled before I even got to the courthouse in the first place. I mean, I would have been given a different trial then at that point. So that doesn't matter. That sucks. Yeah, I really feel for that guy. I mean, like, I kind of feel certain ways about like how his attitude and personality is during deliberations, but I kind of feel for him like with the, you know, the mental financial stress that's going on while we're having to be stuck in the courthouse for the past week. It's like I might have some reservations about that person's thought process on how certain things are, but I feel for him that it really sucks to be like put in that financial occupational position because the government says it's your civic duty, you can't ignore this. I'm just like, bro, let him keep working, otherwise his whole life will probably fall apart because you're having him stuck here with us. It's like, bitch, come on. Yeah, it like the justice system is fucked. And also, again, like the family court system is super fucked. Like, if you read the documents that I read, I mean, they're publicly available documents. If you read the fine print of like how certain restraining orders or criminal protective orders work, there is some heinously sneaky shit in those terms and conditions. That one line will completely open the floodgates for a slew of misunderstandings, which would be cause for bringing it up bring it up to trial because of the misunderstanding from one line of text. Because otherwise, if that line of text didn't exist, there wouldn't have been a case to begin with. It would have been open and shut. There wouldn't have even been a trial, in my opinion. Or even if it did go to deliberation, it would have been open and shut, like, deliberations right there. But that one line is the most sneaky shit that causes the most amount of headaches, not just for us as jurors, but I assume for the protected in the restraining order and the restrained. Because people can misinterpret shit and, you know, give them benefit of the doubt. It's like, it's a lot of random words and shit that like might be confusing to the lay person to understand once they receive it. Because it took me and 11 other people to actually understand the document. If you're being the person restrained in a restraining order, how the hell are you gonna, with no legal knowledge, right? How are you gonna understand all the terms that have been checked off in a restraining order as a lay, like, assuming you're a lay person, you're being restrained in a restraining order, and it's like, what the fuck? And then you're looking through all the stuff, it's like, how are you supposed to understand that by yourself with no legal experience when me and 11 other jurors had to spend 3 days combing through this shit?
to like actually get an actual understanding. And even then, we're not 100% sure. We were sure enough to get a verdict, but we're not 100% sure because this is one of the biggest legal gray areas that we have gone through as a group. And I'm just like, I feel for the guy that was restrained. Whether or not he was in the right or wrong on certain charges, I don't know. But, or I wouldn't know enough. I would have to know him personally at that point. But, like, yeah, like, I feel for them. It's like, all the legalese and everything, it's like really, really fucked up. Someone else having power of attorney over your life is fucked up. Yeah, it's just like, because like the way you can frame certain things based on the conditions of a restraining order, you basically never like like what was it? You basically have no control over any aspect of what was, you know, what set up that restraining order in the first place. Because like, I mean, I guess I could say it to some extent. Like, it was the whole thing about visiting a child. That one thing that talked about, it's like, no, you have to stay away unless you want to visit your child. That was the most complicated thing that no one could come to a clear agreement on. That's why we were feuding over 3 days. That whole thing complicated everything. It's just, bro, like, depending on how you frame or view shit, either restraining orders don't mean shit, or it means you can never see your child again under any circumstance, even though there is language to say like, oh, you could, but depending on whatever terms here, technically you could, but you never will see your child again. I'm just like, that's fucked. Whether or not you give the defendant the benefit of the doubt or not, either way, like, either for the protected, it sucks for them if the restraining order is ended up having all of its teeth removed and is meaningless, or if you're in the shoes of the restrained, it's like, oh, it says I can see my child, right? Yeah, but technically, if you want to view certain other conditions, you'll never see your child again. So then that's like the biggest gray area and the biggest heavy element that's bearing down on our minds as we're deliberating. And it's just like, if you look up those like family court order restraining order forms or whatever, and try to read through every line, it's fucked either way. Whether or not you give, like, you know, benefit of the doubt or innocence or guilt to either side of like this whole situation, it sucks for both parties, you know, depending on how you interpret it and depending who would actually be in the right or wrong, if there is a right or wrong in this case. It's just like, yeah. And some people, like, this has been a very emotional thing for a lot of people because, like, yeah, they, like, having read through this, they're like, because, like, in a personal, biased, moral sense, you know, like, they feel for the protected person, but then as they read through it, they're like, they're just like completely shocked or baffled by the legal language that we're reading through. It's just like, wait, so if we interpreted it this way, then restraining orders don't mean shit. Or if you view it through the other way, restraining orders could be set up in a way where even though you have to stay away, except with an exception of visiting, you can never see your kid again. Even though there is like a thing that says, oh, you can, but no, we're not going to let you. So that's like, again, it's just like the thing that's like, look, I know this is supposed to be an FGO stream with like just me rambling about shit, but I've been, yeah. So that's why I've just been gone for the past week. It's just having to weigh on heavy shit like that. It's like, regardless of what I voted for on whatever charges or whatever my other jurors said, this was not as easy as we thought it was. Like,
I will say, if let's say if it was just between two people and there was no child or whatever to consider, that would have complicated the whole thing. This would have been open shut. Like, it would have been guilty in all charges. But that one line, because, you know, presumption of innocence, innocent before guilty, we had to give benefit of the doubt, so we had to basically clear the defendant on, like, most charges, with some exceptions on, like, the later parts. That part, no, that motherfucker was guilty. But because of that legal language saying, oh, you can, okay, like, basically, in that order, in that term, it's like, it says you have to stay 300 yards away from the person that's being protected in a restraining order, and the restrained cannot come within 300 yards. You know, stay away order. It's like, okay, that's clear. If you're anywhere in that range, and there was proof that the restraint was within that radius, right? It would have been open shut, guilty on everything. Galleon reviews this weekend. Oh, Galleon. But yeah. But then that one line that we read next, right? In the family court order form, it says, it's like, so you have to stay away from 300 yards, except if you want to make brief, peaceful contact with, I forget the exact word for word, but like if you want to make brief, peaceful contact with the protected or your child, either or. So benefit of the doubt would basically say, oh, like even if the defendant couldn't come within 300 yards of the protected, then the defendant could just, we would have to assume as jurors that, oh, it's like, he could just approach to go, at the very least, ask, like, I know you don't want me to see you, but can I see my son? Because he has every right to, by the family court order. He has the defendant, the restrained, still retains the right to visit the son. Whether or not that was just an excuse or a pretext to get to the protected, we don't know. We have to give him the benefit of the doubt. And that's the really messed up thing, right? Because, like, it's such a gray area. And common sense or, like, face value assumptions would have us go, no. It's like, wait, why are you, like, putting someone that's supposed to stay away, why are you giving him the in for approaching? It's like, then what's the point of the restraining order, right? But that one line of exception saying that, oh, here's your way in with a peaceful contact. That line mentioning peaceful contact threw everything up in flames. It was the biggest source of confusion and contention. And that's the really fucked up thing about, like, the family court system. Because for some reason, all these, like, documents for restraining orders have certain lines that basically, like, obfuscate, like, the clear cut and dry parts of what should be like, oh, this person should stay away from me. Simple, right? Well, here's the reason they could say that they would approach you in this circumstance, and they could use that circumstance every time, removing any, like, weight from, it's like, he's supposed to stay away from me, but you know, they just want to visit the child. It's like, you can't deny them that. It's in the text. So then it's like, what's the point of the restraining order? Well, I mean, you know, if he intended to just visit you, you know, like, that's, like, yeah, that's the really fucked up thing that's, like, really been bearing down on my mind with everyone else's minds in the deliberation room. Like, shit like that is so fucked. I don't know, like, benefit of the doubt, or, you know, like, you would try to, like, make some face value, like, assumptions or whatever, or maybe presumption of guilt, basically, at that point. So then it's just like, it's literally impossible to know who's right or wrong. It's just, can you prove they're wrong enough? And we just can't, because the level of trial, right? This is a criminal trial. the jurors have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. I forgot like what the level below it was. I think it was like, clear and convincing or whatever. But we need like solid, factual, irrefutable evidence that these things are being violated. Because of that one line, it cast enough doubt that we just couldn't say guilty. Like, it's whew. So yeah, like if you guys ever wonder why when you see like news of a trial about someone who's like supposedly allegedly guilty of like whatever charges, but they get away not guilty, scot-free on a lot of charges, this situation is exactly why. Like of what this experience of what I went through in deliberations is exactly why. Because the jurors who, you know, by law are supposed to be as impartial as they can reasonably be, going through all those legal documents with a fine-tooth comb, like, even though like in everyday common sense logic they would be inclined to go guilty, technically in an impartial legal lens it's like, wait, we can't say that. Like we just don't have like the necessary level of proof to establish that based on what was presented and what we have in our hands. Because, you know, when you're in deliberation, you have all the evidence on hand to basically look through, like in the room. Because otherwise, you know, how would you talk about like guilty, not guilty if you don't have the evidence to refer to, right? But yeah, man. TLDR, before I just close the stream right then and there, again, deep apologies for the heavy topic, and if it makes anyone extremely uncomfortable, I should have apologized way earlier, but apologies if the heavy topic about jury duty or the case I'm describing, or the type of case I'm describing, has anyone feeling uncomfortable. I do apologize for that, but it's like just a lot of like heavy topic rambling that I want to get off my chest because of like, man, this whole week of jury duty has been an ordeal in its own way. And I feel like maybe I should just like have another night to myself tomorrow and just decompress. Hey Dreezy, thank you for the Prime sub. 5 years, oh man. That's like 60 years. Nah, just kidding. But yeah. It like what was it? Reaching a verdict is not as simple as you would think when you just kind of look at a case like on the news just at face value. It's not simple. Like, because like there it's like, because what was it? Because even the jurors, right? We know that like in our hearts, not our brains, in our hearts, we want to assign guilty, but then just going by all the legal definitions and lenses, like it's like, wait, we can't. It's not beyond a reasonable doubt. You know? Yeah, it's like it's fucked. I'm sorry. It's just, yeah, like if there are like any jurors out, potential jurors out there, anyone that would get jury duty in the future, no hard feelings. It is not as simple. It is not as simple as it looks to be. When you're given all the instructions from the court judge, like, and you read through like how you should be acting as jurors versus like your own personal opinions, because you cannot use personal opinions. That's just the law, right? Yeah, it's not that simple. I think that's the main takeaway. Anyways, good night. Apologies for the extremely heavy topics when this was supposed to be just FGO ordeal call stuff. I just wanted to decompress while just doing some random shit. Anyways, thank you all for watching tonight and this basically half just chatting stream. Goodbye, good night. I'll see you guys later. I'm tired. See ya.